of this thing. Virginia will kick off. Dogs will receive. And Virginia sets it on a tee. And a huge display of masked bands, many bands, as they always do at the Peach Bowl, that performed well before the national anthem, and the Georgia band had gone out there before that. The Virginia pep band came out also. A lot of musicians in this place. The Peach Bowl has always done that. And when the bands come on the field, they come out of each tunnel in all four corners. Virginia waiting for the sign so they can kick off. I don't have any finals, but we had a couple of scores today that had the points loaded a little on one side. Scott, you got something?
I don't have any finals yet, but Tulane was defeating BYU 41-27, and that was just about a minute to go in the Liberty Bowl, and that was a few moments ago. So looks like the Green Wave going to win that one. TCU up on USC 28-19 in the fourth.
David Green kicks off for Virginia. High, long and deep. Down to the 6-yard line to Champ Bailey to the 15, trying to get out to the right side to the 20, hit on the 25 and driven out of bounds. And so we will bring it in and put it in play near the 25. Earl Sims, a linebacker on the kick covering team for Virginia, was the first guy that hit him and shoved him out. And the Dogs will have the ball just inside the 25. We got Champ out to the right side, but there wasn't enough room. Georgia huddles. And the Dogs come up to the line. Quincy Carter with 3 wideouts and 1 running back. Virginia in a 4-man front. Run that wide reverse to Bailey, trying to get to the opposite corner. And he got about 2 yards and got caught near the side. The Dogs receiver could not block the corner coming up. Tim Spruill made the stop, and we got Champ wide out. He had enough speed to get to the other corner, but the gain was about technically 1.5 yards or so to the 26.5. So it'll be second down and 8.5. The Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl in 1998. We break 2 men out and put Champ in the slot again. 1 running back, that's Gary. Virginia in a space 4-man line. Carter fires and is complete to the 35 to Michael Greer. Caught it right on the numbers and then went down. Thweet hit him, a linebacker. Stooks hit him, the cornerback, and it's enough for a first down. Ball is 7-8 inches across. Georgia with the first down outside the 35. 2 running backs now as Bradley comes in to get in front of Alandis Gary, and Bailey comes out. Dogs split 2 men, Virginia in a 4-3. Carter brings a man in motion, runs that toss sweep, and Alandis Gary found a hole and got a quick 10-12 yards. Got it up to the 47. Aligby, the strong safety, had to pull him down. Gary running very quickly. Had blocking on the left side.
Boy, and Matt Stinchcomb really opened up that hole wide on the left tackle spot. Matched up with the All-American Patrick Kearney, and Stinchcomb, the All-American. Stinchcomb won that battle. He really carried Kearney out as he pushed him out to the far hash.
George up on their own 46.5. First down, 3 wideouts. We split 2 backs now. And Quincy comes back and gets in trouble. Now he runs over to the right looking. And now he throws too high, incomplete, deep down the right side. Intended for Michael Greer, who had worked his way back to the Virginia 30. Travis Griffith, the defensive left end, had pressure on Quincy Carter, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Boy, Quincy had some running room that time, too. He only had 1 Virginia defender to beat, but he looked like he could have picked up at least 6 or 7 yards before he even had to make a move on the defender, but would have liked to see Quincy tuck it and run that time.
Second down. Dogs have driven from their 25 outside of their 45 with a couple of first downs. 3 wideouts. Now they're in a shotgun. Carter is back there with Alandis Gary. And the snap. And Quincy runs that pitch outside to Gary, who tries to cut in and does at the tackle, and got it over the 50 before they took him out around the Virginia 46 or 47. He picked his way for at least 7 yards. Burnham, the free safety, was the guy that shoved him out. Alandis was kind of pinned against the near side here under the press box side. And his last 2 or 3 yards were treacherous to the sideline, but he got it down there, and now we're going to be third down, and we need about 3 or 2.5. Outside the Virginia 46, have to go outside of the 43. Third down, a short 3. We put Bradley back in. Carter gets underneath again. We got split backs, 2 wide outs, and now Quincy drops back and looks and missed a wide open receiver on the 35. Michael Greer. Carter threw it too high and too hard, and he had a receiver that had 15 yards of room on all sides of him. He wound up and threw that ball really hard, and Michael Greer was really open. And the Dogs will bog down here 4th and 3, and Wincott will be punting. Terrence Wilkins will be the deep man for Virginia. Greer really had some room to run if that ball had been down a foot or 2. The snap coming. Wincott kicks it very high, slow, coming down around the 15, and Wilkins catches it there just inside of the 15. And so we'll exchange the ball over, and it will be Virginia's ball inside the 15. The net kick was only 31 yards, but he got it up in the air, and it had a pretty good hang time, and there was no return on it. And now Virginia will line it up and come and play. Aaron Brooks, their quarterback, who has had a sensational year running and throwing. They're in an I with 2 wideouts. Georgia in the 4-3. We're playing our linebackers closer than they are. They start a man in motion, and we go with him. And the handoff to Jones, a tailback, who started in and slipped as he went down on the 18. Thomas Jones wanted to cut back in the middle. Dustin Lucky was the one who took his feet out from under him just enough to make him go down on his hip. Gain was about 3, 2nd down and 7.
And just on that 3-yard gain, Larry, you could see the quickness and decisiveness and the cutting of Thomas Jones as Lucky came charging at him. Thought he was going to get a lot more body than he did, and he ended up just getting a hair of Thomas Jones as he slipped coming up the middle.
Brooks, the quarterback for Virginia. No score first quarter. They're in an I again. Fakes to the tail, bootlegs out left, stops, throws back over here on the right side behind the line, complete, and they're up to the 28. Arantis Grant made the tackle on Thomas Jones, the running back. After faking to him, he sprinted out left and turned around and threw it back to Jones. And they've got a first down, and they are up on the 28. Cavaliers get a first down on across the field screen. Virginia first down. Brooks underneath. Backs are in an I again. He brings the receiver from the outside in. Gives to Jones. There's a hole of the tackle. He tries to spin on his left guard or left tackle. Didn't get much, but he got about 3. They've used him heavily this year, and also Womack, the guy behind him, has played quite a bit. Adrian Hollenshed, the linebacker, the first guy that hit him. But the gain was about 4, and it's going to be 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, they've got one of the better 1-2 tandems in the country. Jones is a 1,300-yard rusher, and Womack behind him, the number 2 guy, rushed for over 700 yards. That's not a bad 1-2 punch.
Virginia looking at our defense now on 1 back with 3 wide outs. Anthony Southern is the lone back, and Brooks faked to him and now wants to run wide open out to the left, sprinting to the left for 5 for 10 yards and out of bounds, and a first down near the 45. Hey, he can run too. Aaron Brooks sprinted left after a pass pattern was developing downfield, and he had faked to the fullback up the gut. He then sprinted left. Not a big wide looping sprint. He just angled it. And now Virginia, like Georgia, has picked up 2 early quick first downs.
Well, the Dogs didn't have any containment on that far side as the pocket collapsed. Brooks had a lot of real estate in which to run, and he picked up 13.
Virginia in an I again. Brooks underneath. We're acting blitz in the middle, and they give it to Jones. Second man hit him on the 43. Thomas Jones hit by Antonio Cochran. One defender ran right by him behind the line. The next one got him, and a loss on the play of a yard. And it should be 2nd down and about 11. Virginia's just inside their own 44, and they are 2nd down. No score early, 0-0. Dogs drove it 20-25 yards, missed an open receiver and punted. Now Virginia is driving it. 3 wideouts. Anthony Southern, the fullback, is the lone back set behind the quarterback. Brooks on second down goes to the fullback, and Georgia eats him up behind the line and drives him back to the 41 or 42. Cochran was the first guy that hit him. Southern got hit and got stopped. They will put it on the 42 and a half. A loss of about 1.5 yards. And it'll be 3rd down, Virginia, and a long full 12 to go. No score, nothing. Virginia with a big 3rd down. Virginia will go back in a shotgun. Georgia faking blitz again. We're coming off one corner, and Aaron Brooks wants to run, and we hit him. He held on to the ball, but barely for no gain. Dustin Lucky got him. Came off the left side. We had a man coming up the middle, too. Dustin Lucky got him off the corner. They lost another half yard. It'll be 4th down, and Virginia will have to punt. Virginia in a punting situation with Donnie Scott, who has had an outstanding year, by the way, with a net, I believe, of better than 42 yards. Champ Bailey is our safety man. He kicks a very high ball. Bailey has to go fair catch and takes it on our 23, and they'll swap that ball back, and Georgia will put it in play around the 23-yard line. Timeout now. These words on the Georgia Bulldog Radio Network.
What could be better than a new car this summer?
The Virginia quarterback there on that last play, but it's amazing. He's quick, he's fast, but here on this artificial turf, everybody looks even faster.
Georgia's ball inside the 25. We double shift 2 guys and unload and unbalance a line to the left, and then bring Wiggins back in motion. Quincy runs the option out, turns inside, and they drive him out around the 26. He may have picked up 3 yards or so, or he went out to the right. Rayner, the middle linebacker, was a guy that hit him. Ball is going to be close to the 27. It'll be 2nd down, about 6.5 or 7. Georgia shifted 2 men to the left side and brought 1 back in motion to the right. Trying to put a lot of movement in it. Dogs put Parker and Small out wide. Carter underneath. And Quincy's dropping back and dumps it right over to the tight end. Wiggins, 35 up to the 39 and a 1st down. He hit big Jermaine Wiggins wide open over the middle. Rainier, the linebacker, had to pull him down. And the play was about 12 yards and a 1st down.
And big Wiggins put a nice move on one of their defensive back, Adrian Burnham. Kind of slammed on the brakes and headed straight up the field, picked up a few extra yards as Burnham was closing in on the tackle.
Dogs now with a whole bunch of receivers in and no running backs, and Quincy Carter's in a shotgun. We have 3 men loaded to the right side. Snap to Carter, looks and decides to run. Gets in trouble coming out to the left, dodges one, can't dodge the other one, and has no gain. Travis Griffith, the man that primarily got him. We had 3 receivers stacked on one side. We had 1 man on the other. We had a tight end standing up behind a tackle and had no running backs. It's 2nd down and 10. And we are between the 38 and the 39. We're still running it with 5 receivers, 3 to the right and 2 to the left, and no running backs. Quincy standing up on a shotgun on 2nd down, going to take it and drop back, and looks to the sideline, but out of bounds. Tony Small jumping for a 12, 14-yarder around the Virginia 46, but out of bounds as he caught it. Incomplete, 3rd down. He had him open, but he ran out of room. Quincy was really looking for receivers that time. 3rd down, we're inside of our 39. No score, nothing. We are just about in the middle of the quarter. 3 men to the right, 2 to the left. Virginia's in a 3-man line now. Quincy in a shotgun. Quincy fires, threw it low, bounced it off the ground over on the right side. And went down a moment later. Kearney, the defensive right end, had a pretty good rush on him. And so we don't move it from there, and it'll be 4th and 10, and we'll have to kick it away. No score.
Kearney getting up a little bit slow, kind of hobbling off the field after that. That was probably the best pass rush that Virginia's put on Georgia that time. They pressured Quincy into throwing a little bit sooner than he wanted to.
Win Kopp in the punt. Virginia now has loaded the line with 9 men. Now they drop back to 8. Kopp in punt formation on 4th and 10. Gets a good snap. Just barely got it off. Low spiral coming down in the 20, and the first man got him on the 18. The first man covering got him. Jermaine Phillips. 41-yard punt and a -1 yard return. Jermaine Phillips almost ran right by him. A low spiral. They gambled to run it, and they could not move it. First down on the 19. Timeout. These words on the Georgia Bulldog Radio Network.
Come on, let's go.
Relax, we've got time.
Hey, who's the coach here?
In life, there's no practice. Every day is game day, and you've got to be ready. SunTrust can help with day-to-day things like checking and credit cards, as well as long-term needs like investment plans for college and retirement. With SunTrust behind you, you'll always be ready to put on your game face and take on the world.
Hold on.
You'd think we were the first couple to ever have a baby.
SunTrust. Be ready for life. Member F.
Scoreless in the Peach Bowl. 7:36 to go in quarter number 1. Let's pause for station identification on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network.
This is Aline Hawkins, head softball coach at the University of Georgia, and you're listening to the official voice of the Georgia Bulldogs, New Country 95.5 WNGC.
All right, Virginia puts it back in play. They are on their own 19. Win Kopp at a fine punt, and we covered it well. Brooks, the quarterback. The backs are in a slightly off-shifted eye. They shift the tight end. They have 2 wide outs. Brooks underneath. Going to step back to throw. Got time and throws a long bomb to a man streaking and just missed him down on our 25. Terrence Wilkins, who got a step out in front of our defensive back, but he just missed him. Boy, he threw that thing like a rope. It was really going. Virginia trying to strike it long and deep. They isolated one-on-one down there, though he had a man coming across trying to help. And the receiver could really fly.
Georgia's got its number 2 line in there right now. Jeff Harris, the corner on that play, had pretty good coverage, although the Virginia receiver had maybe a half step on him, but the pass just a little too far.
2nd and 10. Virginia on their own 19. No score. Brooks underneath. 1 back. Going to run a draw with that fullback. Southern hits the left tackle, and Georgia stops him on the 21. Anthony Southern slanting left and can't go far. Arandis Grant was on the bottom of the pile, and Brandon Miller was the nose guard. Virginia should be 3rd down and about 8 here. No score. And you still have 7 minutes to go in the first quarter. Virginia coming up to the line. Ball outside their 21. 3rd down, a short 8. Shotgun this time as Brooks. Running back Thomas Jones is by him. Takes a snap, steps back, looks, fires a bullet down the middle, and it will be incomplete. There was heavy collision out around the 40. Tim Johnson, Larry Mann hitting him. There was no flag on the play.
Yeah, I think we may have gotten away with one there. It looked like Mann bumped him a little bit early that time. He may have gotten that hand over that right shoulder as well. So Georgia gets a break.
4th down. Virginia 4th and 8. Donnie Scott the punt. And he kicks it a mile. Wow. Couple of miles. Michael Greer runs way back, takes it on his momentum back in the 20, and comes up to about the 29. Michael Greer had to sprint 10 yards back deeper to catch it over his shoulder. And then with a 58-yard punt, a 9-yard return, and it's Georgia's ball. Ball will be an inch or 2 inside the 30. No score.
Watching Donnie Scott punt in warm-ups before the game, and he was booming them easily 60 yards in the air, and with some killer hang time, 4.5 to 5 seconds. He's got quite a leg on him.
Yeah, he just did it there with us. It'll be 1st down. Inside the 30. Carter underneath, 3 wideouts, 1 running back. Fakes to the back, Quincy steps back, and they hit him as he throws, and it's incomplete. He got hit from behind by Darrell Sanders, a defensive end, just as he pulled his arm to throw, and the ball just flobbled like a wounded duck out there about 10, 15 yards. Incomplete, second down.
Quincy got crunched pretty good that time, and Kearney has not come back out for Virginia. If you recall, in the last defensive series, he hobbled out a little bit lame, and he is not out there this time. Maybe he's just getting a little bit of an extra breather, but that was a good pass rush by the Cavaliers that time.
2nd and 10. 2 wideouts right and 1 left. 2 running backs this time as Bradley came back in. And a handoff trying to draw with Alandis Gary. No gain at right guard. The hole was shut down. Bawua, the nose tackle, was a guy that made the stop, a big sophomore. It'll be 3rd down and 10. We are not moving. We started the game moving and then missed that wide open receiver down the middle. 3rd down, 10 on our own 30. No score. 3 wideouts. We're in a shotgun. Carter flanked by 2 backs. Is back there. Got time, and he takes off to run, and he can't go too far. He got to the 31. He got to the 35 or 6. Flag down somewhere, and let's catch a call back there, way back around the 21-yard line. Going to be holding on Georgia, I believe. Quincy got 6 yards.
Yeah, they're calling that one on Stinchcomb. He and Kearney having a pretty good battle there, and I think Matt may have tackled him as they were battling back. He got a hand in that jersey and just brought him down. But they may decline that because Quincy didn't get much yardage on it at all, and it would be, 4th down, right?
Yeah, but they're going to take it because they're going to put us down around their own 11-yard line from the spot of the foul. Holding.
Offense.
Yeah, so they want to decline it.
Penalties decline.
Oh, after he moved it all the way back to our 11, now they're telling him to bring the ball back.
Well, you got a little inside there between the official and the player that you heard the Virginia guy say, no, we want to decline it. And the official said, I know, but the other official had the ball and had already started to mark off the yardage.
Now the guy with the ball finally comes up and figures out where Quincy got knocked out around a 36. So they walk it one way and they walk the other. And they set it on a 36. We are now going to be 4th down and 4. We could have been 3rd down and 25. And Kopp will come in and punt formation again. They broke a man up the middle on him the last time. I don't like the way that looks. Wilkins is the deep man, and Virginia has 8 men trying to come through, and his kick is a good spiral, and it is going out of bounds shortly after it came across the 30. Let's see where they mark it. Around the 26 or 7. Had a good spiral, but it went out of bounds. Let's see where they mark it.
It's like about the 28, I think. A lot of folks crowded around there, but I think that's where he found the spot.
And we'll have time here. No score. Pause for these words on the Georgia Bulldog Radio Network.
Just when I thought the chance had passed, you go and save the best for last.
Your Lincoln dealer has saved the best for last.
Need when you need it. More parts, more locations, more good reasons to rely on the pros at Discount Auto Parts.
The 5th quarter show right after the Peach Bowl on New Country 95.5 WNGC Athens.
Well, Georgia's offense having the same problem they had in the 4th quarter against Georgia Tech. They are unable to make a first down. They are 0 for 3 on 3rd down conversions and have had to punt for the 3rd time.
Virginia on their own 28, first down. They're in an I. Brooks underneath the center. 2 wideouts, 1 off each side. Brooks going to take it and go to the I back, and Jones broke out for 5 for 10 yards, 12 yards, and a first down. Running left and then coming back to the middle, and Corey Robinson had to get him. And it's going to be first down for Virginia, and the ball just across the 40. He moves well, but they blocked awfully well on that play. They blocked the right side of our line and then turned it in, and he went in with them. Virginia up to the line on their own 40, just outside of it. They're in an I again with 2 wideouts. No score, getting late in the quarter. Brooks going to take it and go again to Jones, shooting left guard about 7-8 yards. Almost ran the identical same play. And again, they blocked the one side, and he leaned back in the middle. Kirby Smart, the strong safety, had to get him. He got it all the way up to the 48. Virginia's going to be second down and about 2.5.
Well, Virginia's really doing what they should do. You got a guy that rushed for 1,300 yards on the season. He'd only carried it 3 times prior to this series.
Virginia in an I, second down. At the last moment, we change our defensive look with them. Virginia puts a man in motion. Brooks gives it to Jones again. He comes in the middle. We hit him right on the 50. I don't know if he got it. I think he got 2, but I don't think he got 2.5. Thomas Jones tried to run in the middle. The Dogs were shifting the defensive line and went from a 4 to a 6 right at the snap. Leroy and Snellings were the men on the bottom of the stop. Virginia now is 3rd down and a half yard. Nothing game. Got a little over 3 minutes to go in the quarter. Virginia only needs about a foot or so here. Now they're in a power I. Everybody pulled in close, so we stack our line up. Brooks underneath only needs about a foot. And he runs a keeper at left tackle. We hit him as he leaned in. It looks like he got 1.5 yards and enough for a first down. He barely got his body in there. He went between left guard and left tackle, and there were a lot of white jerseys grabbing at him. And Seymour, the end, and Witherspoon, the linebacker, primarily. Bailey had a piece of him. And first down, Virginia, and now they have taken it across midfield. First down. Cavaliers moving late in the quarter. In an I with 2 wideouts. Brooks underneath. Our secondary has been moving on him. He goes again to Jones, and there's a quick hitter up the middle. He's got about 8 yards. They're blocking well in the middle. Kirby Smart had to get him. Thomas Jones, who shoots straight ahead quickly. All of a sudden, Virginia is on the ground and coming directly at us. Lauren, what do you got?
Boy, Virginia does not give you a lot of looks, not a lot of formations, but boy, their execution is good once they get rolling. And this is the kind of thing that you have to be concerned about. That big running back, he's really tough.
Second down, 3. They flip-flop with their tight end. Virginia outside of our 40. Brooks going to give to Jones. Got a blocker out to the left corner. He ran around the corner. We got him and threw him out. He's close to a first down. Not quite. Corey Robinson came up to make a play. Barely got him by the jersey and spun him in a circle. He was about to get around that corner. He can go. He started in and then just bounced it outside. And it's going to be 3rd down again in about a foot or so. Virginia driving it steadily on the ground all of a sudden, which they did, by the way, against everybody all year long. And they measured, and it is a first down. Instead of 3rd and a foot, it's first down. Ball inside the Dogs' 39. Cavaliers running that thing. At the moment, they're running it at one side. What you would technically say is our right guard or our right tackle. Virginia up to the line. In an I. Brooks underneath. We shift our line and bring the backers up again, and he's back to pass, and we sack him back on the 47. 3 or 4 Bulldogs got in there, and one of them is hurt. Stroud and Brandon Miller were the first 2 in. Miller very slow to come up. We had 4 men breaking through, and Brooks never had a chance. And lost on the play back to the 46.5. Brandon Miller got his bell rung, I believe. We assist him off the field a little. He was involved in that sack. Dogs make a change, run forward back into the corner. Take Lucky out at that outside backer spot. Virginia, second down, about 18. No score late in the quarter. One receiver left, two right. Shotgun now for Brooks, and he's got Jones back there with him. Snap. Brooks wants to pass. Running to the right. From behind, somebody got him on the 46. Another big loss. Antonio Cochran dove from behind. Another 8-yard loss.
Well, it's two huge defensive plays on that play a moment ago. Georgia jumped into a different defensive formation at the last second, really caught Virginia off guard. They blitzed and converged on him that time, and Antonio Cochran showed his speed from the offside as he was the right defensive end, and he caught Brooks on the near side hash. That's the third sack by Georgia here in the first quarter.
We change around that defensive front again from the bench. Third down, Virginia. And they've got about 25 to go now. They're in a shotgun, three receivers. Brooks back to pass. They fire out in the flat to Jones, complete. And we're going to trap him over there and go to the sideline with him inside the 50. Jeff Harris primarily. And Will Witherspoon was there. Ford was coming up. The pass across the flat only gained a couple of yards. Fourth down, Virginia. Fourth down, about 22-23, and Donnie Scott, the punter, is in. And he is a kicker. Michael Greer, our safety man. The snap is good. Ooh, we got a man up the middle. High, lazy punt, fair catch. And it bounces sideways. They'll have us in a hole inside of the 10, down around the 9. Virginia had 4 or 5 men to cover. Greer signaled fair catch as he drifted to the sideline. A 41-yard punt that went dead near the 10. And the Dogs will have the ball there, but deep in their own territory. Lauren, what do you got?
Brandon Miller, as you say, had his bell rung, and he came off the sideline. They checked him. He's okay. They're going to leave him out for a while, but he should be able to go back.
Quarter is about gone. No score, nothing. Georgia's down there on their own 10. 90 yards to go. Quincy Carter underneath. 3 wideouts. Backs are in an I. And Carter, handoff. Orlando Scary, a hole at the tackle. Drove it out to the 18. Knocked the back over right as he hit him. Rainier, the middle linebacker. Orlando Scary with an 8-yard burst at right guard and right tackle, and that should end the quarter. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. Virginia and Georgia are 0-0. Quick timeout here on the Georgia.
It's a little bit of rust on each offense after a month layoff.
With 2nd and 2, Georgia's on their own 18 as they come up to the line of scrimmage. 2 wide outs. Quincy goes back, gives it to Orlando Scary, and they stop him on the 19. He came out to the right side, did not get a block at right tackle, and Rainier, the middle linebacker, got him. And if there was a gain, it was only a half a yard. Let's see where he puts it down, however. He'll give him a yard to the 19. It's going to be 3rd and 1. Champ Bailey in and Wiggins out. Early second quarter, 0-0. Georgia in white, Virginia in that dark navy blue, which looks absolutely black. The helmets are black. I think the jersey's that dark navy blue. 3 receivers, Small and Parker to one side, Bailey to the other. Bailey in motion. 3rd down, 80-yard. We throw it out in the flat to Champ Bailey. He got one block, and one man got him, however, and pulled him down with the first down around the 22, Donnie Green. We had the backer down, but he reached up and got Champ, who hurdled the blocker and the tackler, but went down. And the play gained 2.5 yards. It's a first down.
Well, that particular play, you don't really care how many yards it got, just so long as it got enough to get the first down, and that's exactly what they did. So Georgia will be satisfied with about a 3-yard pickup.
2 tight ends again, Parker and Small out to the right. Nobody to the left of the tight end now is in motion from that side, Wiggins. And we throw a screen to Tony Small, who caught it with his knee on the ground back on the 19-yard line. Ball thrown low, and he went down and kneeled to catch it, and it goes for a loss and a completed pass, and a loss of about 3 yards. Ball was thrown poorly, and it'll be 2nd down and 13.
Well, Tony will be able to do that next year, hopefully, but he still can't do that in college. You got to keep your knees off the ground.
He's one of many seniors playing their last game here tonight. Boy, we lose a bunch. That's 2 years in a row we lose a bunch. Now we go to 5 receivers, and Quincy's in a shotgun. And the snap to Carter. In trouble back there around the 5, and fires incomplete. out around the 35, hoping the tight end Larry Brown could come all the way back. Never had a chance. Bawa and Anderson, the middle linemen, were coming in on him.
Well, that was a dangerous pass by Quincy. Not only is he throwing it off his back foot so he didn't get much on it, but he just kind of threw it up there, and that easily could have been intercepted had there been somebody in the immediate vicinity, because it didn't land really close to any Georgia players. There were a couple of Virginia guys around it, but that's the kind you'd like to see him throw it towards the sidelines maybe, or certainly didn't want to take the sack in the end zone, but he'd like to see him get rid of it a little bit better than he did.
3rd down and 13. One running back, 3 wideouts. Quincy back underneath. Takes it. Try to run a little draw with Gary. No room. He tries to bounce outside. Gets it outside for maybe 3 or 4 yards, but no more. They knock him down in the 23, and we are unable to move the ball. Burnham, the free safety, came up and got it. We had no blocking on the left side. He bounced off our line and curled out to the left and picked up about 4 yards. But it's 4th down now and 8 or 8.5, and we'll have to punt it away again with the young freshman Wynn Kopp. Wilkins deep for Virginia. And the snap is good. They don't rush him. He gets a good long kick. Wilkins coming up, takes it on his 39. One man missed in the second, pulled him down, but he got it quickly up over the 50. He shot straight ahead. One man dove and missed him. The second guy pulled him down. 37-yard kick and a 14-yard return. Dustin Lucky got him. Timeout here.
Virginia with the first real scoring opportunity, as they'll start in Georgia territory after the kick by the Bulldogs. They start on the Bulldogs' 47-yard line, 1st and 10.
Excellent field position. And Brooks underneath with the backs in an eye. We come up and put 6 men on the line again with a sudden shift. And Brooks hands to the tailback. Womack out to the left, running wide over the 45 and the 40 and out of bounds. The number 2 tailback in, the sophomore, weighs 210. Jeff Harris had to run him out, but he got it all the way to the Georgia 36 and got 11 yards and a 1st down. They have got some foot speed. This is the first time that the other alternating running back has been in the game. No score early 2nd quarter, but Virginia now knocks on the door. Split 2 men out. Backs are in an eye. Dan Ellis, the number 2 quarterback, by the way, is in there in place of Aaron Brooks now. 1st down. Ellis fakes and comes back to pass. A lot of time. Fires, and we bat it down at the line of scrimmage. Arandis Grant, the linebacker, hit it at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete pass. Boy, he had protection, and he just kept looking and looking. Now there's a flag down the field way down there, and let's see what that is. Let's see what was called. It's in a bad place as far as the defense is concerned. Officials are having a discussion. Got defensive holding. And it'll be a crucial penalty because the Cavs, instead of being 2nd down on the 36, are going to be 1st down on our 26. Georgia had a net of 58 yards in the 1st quarter. Virginia had 51.
1st and 10 from the 26.
Virginia 1st down on defensive holding. Virginia in a eye. They're only 26 yards away from it, and Ellis is now the quarterback. Our linebackers come up, and they run to Womack, and we wouldn't let him in. And that was Grant who stopped him a yard behind the line. Arandis Grant having a good early game on defense. A loss on the play back to about the 26.5. It'll be 2nd down. He started at right guard and wanted to cut back, and Grant broke through the middle when he made that cutback. 2nd down. No score, nothing. Ellis, the quarterback. We load the line up again. We're coming on him, and he fires across the middle, incomplete. Hit the tight end who couldn't hang on. Kirby Smart was fighting him for the ball, and the ball was down around his hips. Casey Crawford, a big 6'6" tight end. He and Kirby were really jostling for a football that was around his hip. It'll be 3rd down. No score. Virginia knocking, however. They're outside our 26. 3rd and long. 3 receivers. 1 running back. That's the fullback, Southern. Ellis, we're coming on him from the corner, and he throws it away long down the left. Nobody ran down there. He threw it long and incomplete in the end zone. Dustin Lucky blew in hard off the corner coming at him. Is limping a little as he comes out. And Virginia's 4th down and may go for 3 here with Todd Braverman. Cavaliers on 4th down at the Dogs' 26.5 will try a field goal, apparently.
Well, this is certainly within Braverman's range. He's a sophomore who was 12 out of 19 for the year. His long kick for the year, 47 yards.
And at the last second, Virginia decided to call time. They were about to run out of time, so Virginia calls time here, so do we. Timeout, Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network.
Hello, Charlie?
Hello? Who? No, this is Charlie.
After starting in great field position, they will try a field goal here, apparently. Quickly to the sidelines. No, we'll wait, and we'll throw it to Larry, and Lauren, we'll get to you in just a second.
And Virginia with Braverman the kick. And the holder is Will Thompson. They're on our 26. They put it on the 34. The kick is up there and no good. Off to the far right side. Didn't quite hit it square. So Virginia misses a field goal, kicked from relatively close range, and the Dogs will take the ball. No points there. All right, Lauren, what do you got?
Dustin Lucky, number 50, has a knee problem, but they're moving him around here on the sideline, Larry, so I sort of suspect, based on what I see and what I've heard, he'll probably be able to go back.
Dogs put it in play, and on the offense, this is the last game for Bradley and Gary and Wiggins and Brown, Terry, Stinchcomb, Tony Small. We really lose a bunch of guys to graduation. 1st down on our own 26. Quincy Carter coming back to pass. Gets in trouble. Fires, and it's intercepted out around the 30. Virginia's got a middle linebacker running inside of the 5 out of bounds. He threw it staggering backwards with 3 guys hanging on him. Threw it right to a Virginia linebacker, a big senior, Wally Rayner. And from around the 29, he took it down to the 5, and Virginia, just like that, will be 1st down and goal to go. And that will usually take the starch right out of a defense. That hurt. Quincy was in trouble. You could see him looking, and they were about to drag him down when he let go of that ball. He was falling to his right.
Well, Rayner's the leading tackler for the Virginia defense, but he's also got a few interceptions. That was his 3rd of the year. Just a bad play by Quincy. He knows he shouldn't have thrown that.
Virginia, goal to go now. They need 5 and a fraction yards. They split 2 men out wide. They go to an I, and Virginia calls time. They got Aaron Brooks back in there, and Brooks looked at our defense and decided to call time. That's the 2nd timeout that Virginia has called here in this quarter. So Virginia takes time. No score, but they're down on the 5.
Well, Virginia that time called their play on the sideline and sprinted out to run the play. Just a quick setup at the line of scrimmage. They were going to try to snap it and go, and it just didn't work out. A guy lined up on the wrong side. Let's pause for these words on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network.
It's the end of the year clearance time at Aikens Ford, Dodge Jeep, Chrysler, Plymouth, and Winder, Georgia. Most dealers are trying to sell 98s right now, but Aikens is already discounting 99s. Aikens has a 99 Dodge Ram 1500 Club Cab with a V8 and auto for only $18,990 and financing as low as 1.9% with approval. Or if you need big trucks, Aikens is your Super Duty Superstore with over 250 to choose from. So go see what's waiting for you at the year-end clearance sale at Aikens Winder. Call 1-800-282-7872.
For a quick fill-up or a fast shopping trip, the only stop you need is at your nearby Golden Pantry convenience store. From gallons of Golden Valley Farms skim, 1 and 2% milk for just $1.99 to a free bag of ice with the purchase of a 12-pack of Coke, they're sure to have it for less at Golden Pantry. And don't forget your favorite fresh-baked Longstreet bread, hamburger, and hot dog buns for just 79 cents each. You'll find everything you need at Golden Pantry. Good and friendly and never too far away.
Every year, have the right amount of insulation. Call Keith Porter Insulation and Fireplace, North Georgia's only CertainTeed certified contractor, sponsored by the National Association of Home Builders Research Center. The professionals can install pure white CertainTeed InsulSafe 3 insulation in your attic so you can start saving money now. Call Keith Porter Insulation and Fireplace in Jefferson, Lawrenceville, Gainesville, and Athens, or Oconee Porter Insulation in Greensboro.
See you again Monday, and Happy New Year from Tim,
Kim,
Scott, and the WNGC Morning Crew.
Power eye now. Everybody drawn in close, so we bring our defense up in there with them. Second down, goal to go. Brooks underneath. Going to hand it off. Driving at the tackle. Southern over on the same side for a touchdown. He was lined up in a different position to the right of the fullback and shot in at our right guard and right tackle and got 2.5 on the score. Well, we've given them 6 big points here. 10:30 to go and a half. Braverman will be trying the extra point. They set it down, and the kick is up. The kick is good, and Virginia leads 7-0. We are still early here in the second quarter. 7-0 ball game. Timeout. Pause for these words on the Georgia Bulldog Radio Network.
Before you join, you'd like to know, what's the Army really like? Okay, you'll exercise hard and you'll get in great shape. You'll study and train hard, too.
After the interception by Wally Rayner, set up the Virginia touchdown. Cavs lead at 7-0. Let's go down to the sidelines and Lawrence Smith.
Quincy Carter is really anxious to get back into the ball game. He's a pretty cool quarterback, but he was really upset with himself on that interception that led to Virginia's first score. Hope it'll be the only score they get, but it's the game's first score for sure. And he's ready to go back in this ball game, so I think he'll go back out there with a little fire and vengeance.
Virginia will kick off. David Green. We got pass and Champ Bailey deep. 7-0. We're down early in the second quarter. Kickoff. Coming down the middle around the 5-yard line. We put a little screen in front of Champ Bailey. Bailey trying to break out and can't. They get him on the 21 or 22. We tried to run him straight ahead. Virginia doesn't spread everybody out wide covering a kickoff. They bunch up in the middle. Devon Simmons, for the second time tonight, a defensive back on Virginia's kick covering team, made the stop.
Oh, he tried to set a wedge for Champ back on about the 10, but Champ's much faster than anybody setting the wedge, and he just runs right past the blockers, so he runs into a wall of blue shirts.
7-0, Virginia leads. Virginia's had the ball a little over 11 minutes. We've had it a little over 7. 3 wideouts, 1 running back, fake to the running back, bootleg out right comes Carter, wants to keep it, 1 man's going to run him out for no gain. Couldn't get around the corner, and Virginia had pressure on him. Travis Griffith, the defensive left end, a 255-pound junior, and it will be second down. If he gained anything, he gained a foot. Ball up close to the 23. We're down 7-0. Early in the game, we drove down and crossed the 50. And on a third down play, missed Michael Greer wide open in the middle of the field on their 35. And we haven't threatened since then. Small in motion off to the left side. Shotgun, Carter needs a block. Rolls to the left and is going to throw a long bomb down the field. And Virginia may have intercepted. As Michael Greer reached, the guy with him was reaching down low. Burnham intercepted. Michael Greer to turn around and try to reach back, and the defender caught a low pass right off his hands, and Virginia's got another interception down on the 31. We threw it long, 50 yards down the left side, trying to break Michael Greer clear, a play similar to the one that we broke on Auburn this year. And that ball was coming down short. He reached back, and so did the defensive back. 7-0, Virginia leads. And they've got the ball on their own 31. Womack, the number 2 running back in. Brooks fakes, steps back, fires a bullet, complete up to the 44. Our first man hit him. The second man got him on the 47, Kirby Smart. Terrence Wilkins, a split end. And they whip one for about 15, 16 yards. And a first down. All through the first quarter, they were gaining 10, 15 yards, it seemed, on field possession after each punt, just moving steadily wherever they got the ball, and then suddenly they got the interception and the score. Now they got another interception. First down. We bring our backers up into the gaps. Brooks takes a long count, hands to the tailback, and we knock him down behind the line. Antoine Womack hit by Marcus Stroud. No, Richard Seymour was the main tackler. Lauren, what do you got?
Dustin Lucky has ice on his left knee. It's a sprain. They're not sure. I was a little optimistic in the previous report. They're going to hold him out until the half and then reevaluate it. Whether he comes back or not will be determined at the half.
2nd and 10, Virginia on their own 47. They lead 7-0. They have the possession and the yardage now. Brooks underneath, takes it and drops back. We're coming on him. We miss him. The second man got him. And the second man was Brandon Miller. He'd been slowed down by Marcus Stroud, who was virtually bouncing off his shoulder pads, and then Miller got him on the sack. And they lost back to the 42. A loss of 5 yards, 3rd down.
That's the 4th sack in this half. Georgia getting some decent pressure on Aaron Brooks. Virginia's best plays have come when they hand it off to that quick back they've got, Thomas Jones.
Our defensive line was asking the Georgia fans to give them a hand, and so they respond. 3rd and 15. We've loaded up the line again. 1 running back, Virginia, 2 wideouts. Brooks takes it. We're trying to blitz him, and now he breaks out running to the left. We're chasing him. He's up to the 45, the 50. We finally catch him, but he might have a first down. He's on our 43. Orandis Grant chasing him. He got almost 15 yards. We blew some men up in the middle on him, and he got away and out of the pocket and came to the left. He outran one man, and Grant got him from behind. They're going to have to measure that ball. They bring the chains across the field. From up above, he may have been a little bit shy, but let's see. He's awfully close to the 15 yards. Virginia leading 7-0 and threatening to drive again. And it's a first down on the 42.5 or so. They measured that one right on the Virginia bench, right on the sideline, and from where we were sitting, we couldn't see the measurement. First down, Cavaliers. They put it on the 43. Virginia with a touchdown lead. And they are sitting on the Dogs' 43. 8:09 to play in the half. They break 2 receivers out, 1 to each side. Brooks underneath. Womack is the key running back. He fakes to Womack and steps back, throws down the middle and missed him. Missed his receiver, Terrence Wilkins, running left to right on our 25. And we had him pretty well double covered, converging from 2 directions. 2nd down. We trail 7-0.
Once again, the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, thanks to the Georgia Peach Commission for sponsorship.
Dogs don't have a lot of yardage, so the first quarter, neither one of them had a lot of yardage. We were both in the 50s.
Neither team doing much through the air. Brooks just 3 out of 6 for 28 yards. Ellis is 0 for 2, and Carter's 4 for 12 with 2 interceptions.
Virginia 2nd and 10 on our 43. 3 wideouts. Brooks takes it and drops back and fires to a man wide open. Touchdown in the corner. Terrence Wilkins running down the left side. Got 2 or 3 steps behind the defensive back. Somebody was coming across trying to help him, not in time. And Virginia just threw it deep down the left side. Not a high, long bomb. He threw a bullet. And just like that, the Cavaliers now are ahead 13-0. People take those little Chick-fil-A dolls and they're throwing them all over this place, coming from up above us and everywhere. So Braverman will try the extra point. Virginia leading 13-0. They set it down, and the kick is up. The kick is good. And the Cavs lead 14-0. They just shot a man open down the left side. Quick timeout here on the Georgia Bulldogs Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Kevin Bacon.
Make plans to attend Franklin's Customer Appreciation Day sale. It's one day only, Thursday from 8 a.m. till 10 p.m. Last year, thousands came and saved thousands. Everything in the store is sold at absolute cost with nothing held back. Strictly cash and carry. Just one example is a Weatherby Vanguard deer rifle, a lightweight, high-powered, bolt-action rifle with low-luster walnut stock for just $365. So take your pick and load up during Franklin's Customer Appreciation Day sale, December 31st at Franklin's just past the mall in Athens.
When you need skilled care at home, it's only natural to ask for St. Mary's. Northeast Georgians have made it a habit since 1970. When St. Mary's was one of the pioneers to start home health care. Today, patients can recuperate from the most complicated surgery right in their own home. And Billy Rubin Lights help cure tiny babies with jaundice right in their own nursery. St. Mary's, innovations in home health care since 1970. That's special St. Mary's touch.
I'm so excited you got cable. Now we can watch the dogs every week.
Why don't you have cable?
I'm waiting.
Waiting?
Yeah, I'm waiting around for the best deal.
Well, Intermedia is offering cable installation and your first month of service, including Showtime, the Movie Channel, and Sundance Channel for only $40.
Only $40? I'd save over $30.
Still waiting?
Don't wait. Get cable for only $40. Includes installation and your first month of service with Showtime, the Movie Channel, and Sundance Channel. Intermedia, it's not just cable, it's capabilities.
You're listening to the Peach Bowl on the official voice of the Dogs, WNGC.
This game recap
Athens.
brought to you by Regions Bank. Let us lend you our strength. Virginia scores first after an interception by Wally Rayner. Returned it to the 5-yard line. 2 plays later, Anthony Southern scores on a 2-yard run. And then after another interception by Virginia defensive back Adrian Burnham at the Georgia 31, the Cavaliers move 69 yards in 6 plays. Aaron Brooks to Terrence Wilkins. A 43-yard touchdown pass, and just like that, it's 14-0 Virginia.
And David Green kicks off again for the Cavaliers. A little short to the 13-yard line. Champ Bailey, no room. He goes out to the left to the 25, got to the 30, and they push him out around the 35. Tim Spruill, a cornerback. Champ with a wedge disintegrating in front of him on a high, short kickoff. Went from the 15 to the 35, and we'll be first down. But we're down 2 touchdowns now. 7:47 to go in the half.
And the worrisome thing, Larry, is that we're just not playing good on offense right now. We've only converted 1 third down, and you're not going to win many ball games when you don't make conversions and keep the football.
2 running backs, 3 wideouts, and we'll give it to Bradley at left tackle, pushing, turning, and to about the 39 for 4 yards. We had just enough trouble blocking that tackle on the left side that he couldn't break through the hole. And Duckett, the linebacker, dingled the nose guard, pulled him down, but the gain was 4, 2nd down and 6. Dogs trail 14-0. Virginia has scored 14 points off turnovers, according to the board over there. And that they have. 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns. 3 wideouts, shotgun. Carter is back there with 1 back. Snap to Quincy. He looks, whips it down the middle, and the tight end drops the ball open on their 46. Now it was Tony Spall, the split end. He threw it a shade low, threw it around his hip, but both hands were on the ball. And it's going to be 3rd and 6. Offense is sputtering again.
Yeah, really are. Boy, that was an extremely catchable ball. Tony's got to make that catch.
Trailing 2 touchdowns. Wiggins out. Thaddeus Parker in as a receiver. Dogs on their own 39, having nothing but trouble. 7:02 left. Got to watch the clock. 3 wideouts. Does Quincy see the clock? He's in a shotgun. Gets the snap in time and drops back. And fires. Intercepted on the right flat. And they got a blocker in front of Tim Spruill. Down to the 15, the 10, and out of bounds. He threw it where there were 2 defenders and no receivers at all. The tight end fell down, and there were 2 defenders over there. and catch a possible penalty. Where is there a flag?
It's down around the 26-yard line where the officials are huddled around discussing it. It's going to go on the Virginia team, but it was after the interception, I believe.
Yeah.
We'll see what the interpretation is.
After the interception, holding on the intercepting team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down, Virginia.
And we've almost given them 3 quick touchdowns, with the Air Force really being grounded. Virginia, however, instead of lining up now between the 10 and 15, they are out on our 36. Penalized 10 yards for holding after the interception, but the Cavaliers are threatening big time here.
Well, this is a stretch of 5 passes that I'm sure Quincy Carter will like to forget about. He's 0 for 5 with 3 interceptions.
Virginia up to the line. They are totally in command of the game at this moment. And I'm afraid the mental thing is going to creep in there as well. Brooks underneath, Jones back in at the tail. And they give it to Jones. He shoots in there, and we stop him dead. Somebody got him low right in the middle. Kirby Smart was one of the men there. The safety had come up. And Rich Robich was the guy that hit him first. They put it right back on the 36, second down and 10.
Georgia's defense is really playing pretty good ball. They had a breakdown on Virginia's last touchdown. Corey Robinson got beat on a pattern by Womack, but overall the Bulldogs in some sticky situations have played pretty good defense, but the offense is just non-existent.
Second and 10. Shotgun. Reacting blitz in the middle. Brooks floats to the left with it. Looks, fires out of his hands. He dropped the ball on our 27. Terrence Wilkins turned around and it hit him right on the numbers, incomplete. Harris and Smart were trying to double cover with him. And Virginia now will be third down. They lead 14-0. And they are keeping the ball for long stretches of the time compared to us, because we've been giving it right back to them. Cavaliers on the 36. Dogs need a break of some kind that turns into a long play. Something now to goose them up. Virginia with Brooks underneath. Audibilizes with his team, goes back into the shotgun.
Should be a flag. That's a delay.
It is a delay of game coming. He ran out of time. We were starting to threaten the blitz off the right corner just before that.
Delay of game, offense.
And the penalty comes back to the 41, and Virginia becomes third and 15. Boss Bailey was really jumping around and wanting to come off the right corner. Now we take him out and run Josh Millard in there on defense. Virginia's back on the Dogs 41, but they lead 14-0. Georgia would really like to get some points on the board before the half ends. Third and 15. Shotgun. Brooks takes it. Looks. Fires open and complete on our 29, and we knock him down on the 23. Terrence Wilkins again, who has really hurt us. Larry Mann got him. Got about 18 yards or so, 17. First down just inside the Georgia 24. Cavaliers getting closer to more points. 6:02 says the clock.
Well, that's twice in the ball game here in the first half that Virginia's had a 3rd and 15, and they've picked up the first down, and Georgia's only converted one third down play the whole game.
Virginia, first down on our 24. 2 running backs. Brooks underneath. Drops back to throw. Fires. A man open right over the middle for a touchdown. Thomas Jones, the running back, who just streaked on a delay. Ran a delay streaking pass right by a linebacker. And Virginia, just like that, gets their third score, and it's 20-0. This could turn out to be a long, high mountain to climb. The speed again, or lack thereof, was really evident. That running back just shot by our linebackers and took a pass about 10 yards across the line. Braverman to try the extra point. They set it down. The kick is good, and it's 21-0. 5.5 minutes left in the half. 5:36, 21-0. So we'll be receiving again, but we haven't been able to do anything with the ball since the early short drive when we had a golden opportunity and missed that pass. Pause for station identification here on the Georgia Bulldog Radio Network.
This is Jim Imes, head coach of the University of Georgia women's volleyball team. You're listening to the official voice of the Georgia Bulldogs, New Country 95.5 WNGC.
Brooks to Jones, 24-yard touchdown pass puts the Cavaliers up 21-0 in what has been a disastrous second quarter for Georgia. Let's go down to the sidelines and Lauren Smith. Lauren?
Oh, Quincy Carter is very dejected down there. He knows he's made mistakes, but I think he also realizes this game's not over if he can get out there and get the offense together and start performing. They've just not clicked, and maybe they will now.
David Green kicks off again for Virginia, deeper this time. Champ goes back to the 2-yard line on the right side, to the 5, to the 10, to the 15, 20 or 23, 24. Pull down inside of the 25 by Duckett, a linebacker, and Simmons, a strong safety. So we'll put it in play there on our own 24 and desperately needing a big play now. Those little Chick-fil-A Beanie Baby things, they put one by every seat in this huge dome. After the points, they just sail out of the stands, people trying to get them out on the field. Dogs in an eye, 3 wideouts, run a tight end in motion, do a pitch to a sweep. Gary trying to get to the corner, no room to run, and they push him out for no gain. Came out to the short side. We had trouble blocking the end on that side. And they will mark it out just about the line of scrimmage. Dogs try to sweep right to the short side. There was not enough room to run, but we couldn't get to the corner. Champ Bailey coming back in. Is expected to join that long list of seniors that I read you who are graduating and leaving. Champ breaks out to the right. We put a slot left. Virginia brings up 5 on the line as Quincy drops back and dumps a little screen to Gary behind the line of the left. He got away from one man, but the second man got him down low from behind on the 16 for a big loss. Kearney, the end, I believe. Bawa got him, the nose tackle. And the ball is back on the 16 and a half. It's going to be 3rd down and about 17 or so to go. Dogs just dumped it out to Gary on the left on a little screen, and Virginia's defense now is really starting to dominate us. We were already having a lot of trouble with him in a long kick exchange punting duel, and suddenly when the Air Force crumbled, down we went. Virginia fans up roaring as Dogs call time with 4.5 minutes. Down now in 16. Dogs on their own 18-yard line. They're going to have to kick it away. They hope to get it out of here because it's already 21-0. Virginia loads that line up. And the snap is all right. The kick is pretty good. And we'll hit the receiver right away. Flag down up on the 47. Did we give him enough room, I wonder, for him to catch it? Or are we going to have a penalty? Jermaine Phillips hit the kick returner on a 47 and drove him back. But a flag flew right there. 35-yard kick. A good high kick, but we may not have given him the 3 feet that he is allowed.
No, I don't think we did. It either took the official time to make that decision or he had trouble getting the flag out of his pocket because it came out after the guy was dropped back on the 39.
There's no flag on the play.
Well, the flag is still down in the field.
Yard belt. By rule, that's not a foul.
What did he say? Well, his mic went out. We couldn't get everything that he said. Well, we gained 7-8 yards that way. They picked the flag up, and they move it back to the Virginia 39. So the kick was good. and the coverage was even better. Virginia, first down on their own 39-yard line. It was a strange call. They got a slot left or in an eye. Brooks underneath. Going to take it and hand it to Womack, who's trying to dance back to the right, and we won't let him go. He started in and then tried to bounce to the right, and the Dogs jammed it up. Marcus Stroud primarily on that play. 2nd and 10. Getting a little late now in the half, and Virginia leads 21-0. 2nd down. What's so scary when you look at the scoreboard is that if Virginia wants to, they can alternate those running backs and run it right at us and control the clock. And here they got a 21-point lead. Brooks takes it, steps back, going to fire a long bomb. Incomplete down around our 25. Jeff Harris trying to cover Tim Johnson. They're split end. Virginia decided to strike one deep. And man, that would have really taken us right out of business. 3:01 to go. Virginia's 3rd down now on their own 39, and they lead 21-0.
Boy, Champ Bailey's got to be getting bored out there. Virginia won't go to his side at all today. They are working Jeff Harris, and when Corey Robinson is in the game, they continually work that side, but they're not going to Champ's side at all.
Virginia in a shotgun now. Womack is still a running back. They have 3 wideouts. And the snap coming back where you're going to try to sack Brooks. And he grounds the ball running over to the right, incomplete. Behind the line, we had 3 men chasing him 15 yards behind the line. Before he went out, he threw it incomplete. And the Cavaliers will have to kick it away late in the half, but with a very fat-looking 3-touchdown lead. Champ Bailey, the safety. And Donnie Scott will be kicking. And we block it. And it's rolling back around the 25, the 22. Scott picks it up, trying to run. And now he throws a pass, which is complete up on the 50-yard line. And let's see. The receiver, did he fall up there for a first down? Watch a flag now, and let's see.
Yeah, Virginia still had guys running off the field. They snapped it with about 13 guys on the field.
And now the officials really going to have a discussion. Glenn Ford blocked the punt. Scott picked it up, ran to the left, and threw a pass to Aligby, a junior linebacker and defensive back, who caught the ball up around the 50. Yeah. Let's get the call. And the officials going to really have to get together on this again.
Yeah, I think they're looking for a spot now. It looks like what they're doing. They're trying to find a position to spot the football, or at least get a starting point as far as where the reception was made and where the block was made and where the penalty falls into all of that.
Yeah, I don't know. And he fell backwards across the 50, which would be a first down by about a foot. And the Dogs' Kirby Smart is out talking to 3 of the officials now, trying to find out. Ball rolling around, and Scott picked it up, made a pass. The penalty will be on the offense. And let the sign on the cross arm over to the shoulder.
Well, I think what they're going to do before Georgia decides is see if they got the first down. And then if they did, obviously Georgia will take the penalty. If they didn't, it'll be Georgia ball right there.
And let's see.
Illegal substitution on the kicking team. That penalty is declined. They did not make the first down, so it's first down Georgia.
So Virginia gained 15 yards on the play, even though we blocked the punt. But it's not enough for a first down, and by inches we get the ball. After all that discussion, and they did have guys trying to run off the field.
Well, even when we get a break, we don't really get a break. I mean, we block it, and they ended up almost getting a first down. They miss it by a foot or so, and we have to start near the 50. But this is a great opportunity with 2:43 to go, Larry. Georgia has to get points out of this. If they do, they got a little momentum going into the locker room, down by maybe just 14 at the half.
You usually block about 1 punt a year. And we blocked one there.
That's the second for Ford this year.
3 wideouts. Gary, the running back. Parker in motion. And a quick handoff. Volandis Gary up the middle. They hit him on the 45. He got 4. Had a little hole trying to jump it in there. Dingle, the nose guard, yanking on him from behind. And the linebacker, Rayner, also in on the play. Ball is just inside the 45, 2nd and 6. Late in the half, Virginia leads 21-0. Boy, that punter was thinking. Picked up a bouncing ball that came up into his hands, ran a few steps, and threw a pass. Carter takes, looks, still looking. Down the middle of Brown, complete on the 30, first down. The tight end, Larry Brown, turned around and caught a ball. He was being covered by Green and Ligby, but we whipped it hard, and we'll have a first down there on the 30. Lauren, what do you got?
Larry, before that block punt, we were here on the sideline saying, don't let it get to be 28-0. Now it could be 21-7, so let's go get them, Dogs.
Shotgun on the 30. Carter takes it in the pocket, throws to the left side, complete. Tony Small kept his foot in bounds on their 21 and got about 9 yards. Barely got 1 foot in there. Antoine Harris, the cornerback, was close to him. He barely dragged that 1 foot. And we'll be 2nd and 1. You got to watch the clock. There's 1:45 and a half. Dogs have driven to the 21, but we're trailing 21 points. Bailey in, Michael Greer out. Bailey goes out to the right wide. We have a slot to the left. Shotgun, Carter up there, 2nd down, about 1.5 yards maybe. We flip-flopped the tight end and unbalanced the line. And Quincy takes a shotgun. They chase him behind the line. He decides to run. He got it over the 20. They hit him on the 17. He gained 3 or 4. Rainier, the linebacker. Burnham, the free safety, got him. The clock is at 1:38. We are 17 yards away from points that we need desperately because the Cavaliers have been a little bit dominant here. Now the clock starts, 97 seconds, less than that. Shotgun, we're on to Virginia 17. Quincy takes, looks, fires, and it is complete to Tony Small in the 11. They hit him and drove him back right away. Antoine Harris, the corner. He whipped it over to the left, and we may call time here with 1:19 to go. And the play gained about 5 yards. The Dogs will be on about the 12, and it'll be 2nd down and a short 5. Maybe 4.5 with 1:19. 21-0 Virginia. And suddenly we are in scoring position and have been the last couple of minutes.
Well, Virginia's secondary playing back off the Georgia receivers here at this point. I don't know if that's really the right thing to do, the way they've been controlling the game. They gave Tony Small a lot of cushion. He had about 4 or 5 yards after he caught the ball, but by the time he had turned around to head upfield, Virginia had closed the gap, so they hit him just a yard or two after he made the catch. But you'd think they'd be playing a little bit tighter, a little more confident at this point with a 21-0 lead.
And the Dogs will be 2nd down and 5. Got to get to the 7-yard line for a first down. Sitting out there on the 12. Ball is actually on the 11.5. Only 1:19, but 21 points down as Small and Thaddeus Parker break out to the right. And Bailey breaks out to the left. Shotgun. Virginia brings a cornerback up on one corner. Carter takes it. Back, looks, fires. Touchdown! Tony Small in the middle of the end zone. And man, they're throwing those Chick-fil-A Beanie Baby things now. They're just sailing. Those little cloth cows are just sailing. Tony Small turned, and man, he threw that ball hard. You had to have a strong pair of hands. It's 21-6. Half Hines to try the extra point. Minute and 15 left in a half. They set it down, and the kick is up, and the kick is good. And so it's 21-7 with a little bit of time left here in the half. That receiver really broke open right down the middle, and he threaded it right on him. But we're 2 touchdowns behind. 21-7, and the Dogs will be kicking off when they let us go. Tony Small scored, and he and Stinchcomb will be leaving us. So will Chris Terry and Larry Brown and Jermaine Wiggins and Orlando Scary and Ronnie Bradley, all off the offensive side. Be the second straight year we lose a whole bunch of people off the offense. Chad Holloman now is setting the ball up for the kickoff. 21-7. Antoine Womack is one of the return men for Virginia, and will apparently be the deep man, along with Ahmad Hawkins. Dogs will kick off. 75 seconds left in the half. Holloman hits a dribbler. Bounces off a lineman's hands, who goes back and curls on the ball on the 25-yard line. And we try to kick it low, cause a fumble or a funny bounce with the kickoff, but Virginia recovers on the 25, and they'll be first down. It was not an attempt at an onside kick. Virginia will be first down, and with 1:13, will probably, though you don't know in these days and times, just run it at us for a couple of plays.
Now they've only got 1 timeout left. We'll see how they decide to handle the last 1:13 of the half.
Virginia in an eye. He brings one of the men in motion and hands to the running back. We hit him on the 29. Thomas Jones coming outside our right end, trying to cut back in, but he gained about 4. Adrian Hollenshit on the tackle. Clock running under a minute now. 2nd down and 6. Cavaliers leading 21-7. Virginia takes their time coming out of the huddle. The half is almost gone. Slot left. They are in an eye. Brooks puts a slot man across in motion and takes it and hands to the tailback, and we hit him right there on the 30. Thomas Jones trying to run straight ahead, a little hole at the right guard. Hollenshit, one of the men that grabbed him. Ball up on the 30, 3rd and 5.
That should be it. Virginia likely just let the clock tick down here and go in happy with a 2-touchdown lead.
21-7. Ball game was getting completely out of reach until suddenly we got one. And the clock runs down, and that's the end of the first half. Virginia leading 21-7 in the Peach Bowl, and Scott Howard will recap the first half after this on the Georgia Bulldog Radio Network.
We all play the same games in life. There's the I want to see other people game.
Marvin, I know this may hurt you.
After the first half of play, so we'll see if the Dogs' late touchdown in the half gets them going. About the second half. Once again, the voice of the Georgia Bulldogs, Larry Munsen.
Womack and Hawkins will be deep for Virginia, 21-7. A lot of conversation about how impressive Virginia looked in the first half up here at halftime. Holloman kicks off for Georgia, extremely high and deep. Real good kick, 3 yards in the end zone and down by Ahmad Hawkins. That ball really got up in the air and really traveled. And Virginia now will bring it out on the 20 and line up. But they lead 21-7. And with the running game they have showed all year, including they showed it against Florida State, they might control that ball on us here. They had the ball 5 extra minutes only. That's not a lot in the first half. Cavaliers come out. Seals their number 2 centers over the ball. Quarterback is Brooks. The backs are in an eye. Virginia with a 2-touchdown lead, taking a long time here. Brooks fakes to the tail. He's back to pass. Looking. One man missed him. Another misses him, and he throws it away in our sideline. And now we'll toss a flag down. Big Leroy was chasing him way back, and he just threw it away out of bounds with no receivers anywhere near that side. and it bounced once and went into our bench, and Virginia will draw a penalty. So from first down on the 20, and he threw it from the 8. They go half the distance to the goal. No, let's see, where will they put it? They're going to put it down. He hasn't set it down yet. He's still holding it in the air between the 3 and the 4-yard line. Dogs almost sacked him, and he threw it away from deep behind the line. And now Virginia is second down and approximately 26 to go.
Yeah, the big thing about that penalty, a loss of down, too, so they lose the play and the yardage.
Virginia now down there inside of their own 5. One of their outside receivers is in motion. Brooks fell down. I don't know if anybody got his foot or not. I think he caught it with his center. Seals, the number 2 center, and Brooks fell down behind the line and had to take the loss a couple of yards down to the 1-yard line, and Virginia now is in a deep hole. Now here comes the number 1 center back in the ballgame. Cavaliers third down now, and very, very long. And they're down there in front of the Georgia stands on that end of the dome, and there's a lot of noise hollering at Virginia. Third down, Virginia backed up to the 1-yard line. Brooks taking his time, goes back to pass from the end zone, fires, incomplete. The receiver, Wilkins, was split out on the 10-yard line wide across the field. Fourth down.
Well, this dome's rocking pretty good. Now you've got about, I don't know, looks like about 50,000 Georgia fans in here, and they're finally making some noise. Of course, they really haven't had a whole lot to cheer about.
Donnie Scott, the punter, and boy, he's got to be careful that he doesn't step out over the end zone. The Dogs load the line up. 9 men on the line. Virginia punts from deep in the end zone, and they got the kick off. Good spiral. Champ Bailey way back to our 44 to take the ball, coming back toward the middle over the 50 and down to the Virginia 44. I tell you, when he got that kick off, they needed that. He was about 7 yards deep in the end zone. It flew almost 60-something in the air, 55 yards net, and a 12-yard return. Scott kicked him out of danger. When you've got a great kicker, that's what you can do. So we will be on the Virginia 44, first down. If the Dogs get points here, they are back in the ballgame. Georgia up to the line. Parker breaks left. Michael Greer breaks right. Tony Smalls in a slot on the right. Carter takes, fires to Parker. Complete. One man missed him. He's off balance. He's down to the 30 to 29. Donnie Green, the linebacker, trying to grab him. He's kind of circled around him, and Thaddeus Parker got about 15 yards. First down, and they're on the Virginia 29. 21-7, Virginia leads. All of a sudden, the momentum is trying to swing. Virginia puts another defensive end in and takes Kearney out, who's been the star rusher. We have 2 tight ends in, Brown and Wiggins. Slot right. And Quincy, handoff. We run a double reverse. A block for Bailey, trying to get him to the left corner, and he can't stay in bounds. There was no room, and we only got about 3 yards down to the 25. Virginia smelled a rat, and they had 2 men penetrating behind the line off the left side who held up about 5 yards across the line. We had to block them. We had men there, and Champ had to swing wide on a double reverse. And it'll be second down and a long 6 on the 25.
Carter and Jonas Jennings got pretty good blocks on that. It wasn't a big gainer, but Jonas Jennings cleaned the clock on the Virginia team.
Flip-flop the tight ends. Virginia shifting the line. Toss sweep to Alandis Gary. Cuts back in, and they hit him hard and knock him down in the 23. Only got a couple yards. Rainier, the middle linebacker, got him, and Griffith, the left end. 21-7, Dogs are knocking on the door. It will be third down and 4 on the 23. Have to go to the 19. Ball is inside the 23. Carter getting the play from the bench. (21-7). Dogs up to the line. This time they're telling the fans to be quiet so they can hear the count. Carter hollers out at his 4 receivers now, 2 on each side. Snap to Quincy, running the option. Runs inside a one-man and goes to about the 16 where they get him. It'll be a first down. Somebody penetrated. He ran right inside of him. Thweet, Rainier, the linebackers. Aligby, the strong safety, got him, and Quincy got some yards on the play. And it'll be a first down. Ball is spotted on the 15. We're 14 down. Kearney is back in at the end. Georgia breaks Small and Greer out to the left. Landiscari, the lone back. Bailey's out to the left also in a slot. And Quincy runs option left, turns, cuts in. One man got him. That linebacker Rainier hit him low, and he got about 1.5 yards at the most.
He's one of the Cavaliers' best defensive players. Georgia did a fine job on Kearney. They blocked him down, but Rayner was right there on the outside corner and made a nice play to stop Carter after just a very minor gain.
Carter started out, cut back in, and that one man dumped him right in a hole. 2nd and 9, a long 9. Dogs on the Virginia 14, needing a touchdown badly. 3 receivers right. Shotgun to Carter. Quincy takes it and drops back and looks, and he's going to throw it long. And a touchdown in the corner to Champ Bailey. Running full steam ahead of everybody. And look at those Chick-fil-A Beanie Babies flying out of the stadium. Carter threaded the needle. Champ Bailey had a foot in, maybe both feet in the corner running. Suddenly it's 21-13 and we're back in this thing.
Boy, you could see that one. We had a great view from up here. Champ was wide open running towards the back corner, and all Carter had to do was sail that baby up there, and Champ would run under it, and that's exactly what happened.
Hap Hines with the extra point, and the kick is up. The kick is good, and it's 21-14. And we've got 11 minutes plus to go here in the third quarter. Timeout on the Georgia Bulldog Radio Network.
Just when I thought the chance had passed, you go and save the best for last.
Your Lincoln dealer has saved the best for last. The luxurious 1999 Lincoln Town Car, now with a 0 down.
And Lauren Smith. Lauren.
Well, Scott, the sideline is electrified, and you can imagine why. It just seems like just no time ago that it was 21-0 Virginia. Looks like they had a chance to score again before going to the locker room at the half. That looked pretty dismal, but now it looks pretty good.
Holloman will kick off for the Dogs. We got it within 7. Chad Holloman, sophomore from Marietta. Womack and Hawkins are deep for the Cavaliers. Their lead is down to 7. And the kick very high again. Going to come down on about the 10 to Womack. To the 15. One man dove on the 17 and got him.
Arnaud, that's a great
Robert
play.
Arnaud, the running back, got him. Dove and got him coming from the left side, low. And the ball is spotted on the 17 and a half. And the Dogs are acting very much like they are really fired up. And now the defense points at the crowd down at that end and tells them they can come up again. Virginia with a first down inside of their own 18. Brooks, the quarterback. And we load the line up again, bringing people into the gaps.
Play, so we'll see if the Dogs' late touchdown in the half gets them going. About the second half. Once again, the voice of the Georgia Bulldogs, Larry Munsen.
Womack and Hawkins will be deep for Virginia, 21-7. A lot of conversation about how impressive Virginia looked in the first half up here at halftime. Holloman kicks off for Georgia, extremely high and deep. Real good kick, 3 yards in the end zone and down by Ahmad Hawkins. That ball really got up in the air and really traveled. And Virginia now will bring it out in the 20 and line up. But they lead 21-7. And with the running game they have showed all year, including they showed it against Florida State, they might control that ball on us here. They had the ball 5 extra minutes only. That's not a lot in the first half. Cavaliers come out. Seals are number 2 centers over the ball. Quarterback is Brooks. The backs are in an I. Virginia with a 2-touchdown lead, taking a long time here. Brooks fakes to the tail. He's back to pass. Looking. One man missed him. Another misses him, and he throws it away in our sideline. And now we'll toss a flag down. Big Leroy was chasing him way back, and he just threw it away out of bounds with no receivers anywhere near that side. And it bounced once and went into our bench. And Virginia will draw a penalty. So from first down on the 20, and he threw it from the 8. They go half the distance to the goal. No, let's see, where will they put it? They're going to put it down. He hasn't set it down yet. He's still holding it in the air between the 3 and the 4-yard line. Dogs almost sacked him, and he threw it away from deep behind the line. And now Virginia is second down and approximately 26 to go.
Yeah, the big thing about that penalty, a loss of down, too, so they lose the play and the yardage.
Virginia now down there inside of their own 5. One of their outside receivers is in motion. Brooks fell down. I don't know if anybody got his foot or not. I think he caught it with his center. Seals, the number 2 center, and Brooks fell down behind the line and had to take the loss a couple of yards down to the 1-yard line, and Virginia now is in a deep hole. Now here comes the number 1 center back in the ballgame. Cavaliers third down now, and very, very long. And they're down there in front of the Georgia stands on that end of the dome, and there's a lot of noise hollering at Virginia. Third down, Virginia backed up to the 1-yard line. Brooks taking his time, goes back to pass from the end zone, fires, incomplete. The receiver, Wilkins, was split out on the 10-yard line wide across the field. 4th down.
Well, this dome's rocking pretty good. Now you've got about, I don't know, looks like about 50,000 Georgia fans in here, and they're finally making some noise. Of course, they really haven't had a whole lot to cheer about.
Donnie Scott, the punter, and boy, he's got to be careful that he doesn't step out over the end zone. The Dogs load the line up. 9 men on the line. Virginia punts from deep in the end zone, and they got the kick off. Good spiral. Champ Bailey way back to our 44 to take the ball, coming back toward the middle over the 50 and down to the Virginia 44. I tell you, when he got that kick off, they needed that. He was about 7 yards deep in the end zone. It flew almost 60-something in the air, 55 yards net, and a 12-yard return. Scott kicked him out of danger. When you've got a great kicker, that's what you can do. So we will be on the Virginia 44, first down. If the Dogs get points here, they are back in the ballgame. Georgia up to the line. Parker breaks left. Michael Greer breaks right. Tony Smalls in a slot on the right. Carter takes, fires to Parker, complete. One man missed him. He's off balance. He's down to the 30, the 29. Donnie Green, the linebacker, trying to grab him. He's kind of circled around him, and Thaddeus Parker got about 15 yards. First down, and they're on the Virginia 29. 21-7, Virginia leads. All of a sudden, the momentum is trying to swing. Virginia puts another defensive end in and takes Kearney out, who's been the star rusher. We have 2 tight ends in, Brown and Wiggins. Slot right. And Quincy handoff. We run a double reverse. A block for Bailey, trying to get him to the left corner, and he can't stay in bounds. There was no room, and we only got about 3 yards down to the 25. Virginia smelled a rat and had two men penetrating behind the line off the left side who held up about 5 yards across the line. We had to block them. We had men there. And Champ had to swing wide on a double reverse. And it'll be second down and a long 6 on the 25.
Carter and Jonas Jennings got pretty good blocks on that. It wasn't a big gainer, but Jonas Jennings clinged a clock on the Virginia team.
Flip-flop the tight ends. Virginia shifting the line. Toss sweep to Landis-Gary. Cuts back in, and they hit him hard and knock him down in the 23. Only got a couple yards. Rainier, the middle linebacker, got him, and Griffith, the left end. 21-7. Dogs are knocking on the door. It will be third down and 4 on the 23. Have to go to the 19. Ball is inside the 23. Carter getting the play from the bench. (21-7). Dogs up to the line. This time they're telling the fans to be quiet so they can hear the count. Carter hollers out at his 4 receivers now, 2 on each side. Snap to Quincy, running the option. Runs inside a one man and goes to about the 16. Where they get him, it'll be a first down. Somebody penetrated. He ran right inside of him. Thweet, Rainier, the linebackers. Aligby, the strong safety, got him. And Quincy got some yards on the play. And it'll be a first down. Ball is spotted on the 15. We're 14 down. Kearney is back in at the end. Georgia breaks Small and Greer out to the left. Landis-Gary, the lone back. Bailey's out to the left also in a slot. And Quincy runs option left, turns, cuts in. One man got him. That linebacker Rainier hit him low. And he got about a yard and a half at the most.
He's one of the Cavaliers' best defensive players. Georgia did a fine job on Kearney. They blocked him down, but Rayner was right there on the outside corner and made a nice play to stop Carter after just a very minor gain.
Carter started out, cut back in, and that one man dumped him right in a hole. 2nd and 9, a long 9. Dogs on the Virginia 14, needing a touchdown badly. 3 receivers right. Shotgun to Carter. Quincy takes it and drops back and looks, and he's going to throw it long. And a touchdown in the corner to Champ Bailey. Running full steam ahead of everybody. And look at those Chick-fil-A Beanie Babies flying out of the stadium. Carter threaded the needle. Champ Bailey had a foot in, maybe both feet in the corner running. Suddenly it's 21-13 and we're back in this thing.
Boy, you could see that one. We had a great view from up here. Champ was wide open running towards the back corner, and all Carter had to do was sail that baby up there, and Champ would run under it, and that's exactly what happened.
Hap Hines with the extra point, and the kick is up. The kick is good, and it's 21-14. And we've got 11 minutes plus to go here in the third quarter. Timeout on the Georgia Bulldog Radio Network.
Just when I thought the chance had passed, you go and save the best for last.
Your Lincoln dealer has saved the best for last. The luxurious 1999 Lincoln Town Car, now with a 0 down.
And Lauren Smith. Lauren.
Well, Scott, the sideline is electrified, and you can imagine why. It just seems like just no time ago that it was 21-0 Virginia. Looks like they have a chance to score again before going to the locker room at the half. That looked pretty dismal, but now it looks pretty good.
Holloman will kick off for the Dogs. We got it within 7. Chad Holloman, sophomore from Marietta. Womack and Hawkins are deep for the Cavaliers. Their lead is down to 7. And the kick very high again. Going to come down on about the 10 to Womack. To the 15. One man dove on the 17 and got him.
Arnaud, that's a great
Robert
play.
Arnaud, the running back, got him. Dove and got him coming from the left side, low, and the ball is spotted on the 17 and a half. And the Dogs are acting very much like they are really fired up. And now the defense points at the crowd down at that end and tells them they can come up again. Virginia with a first down inside of their own 18. Brooks, the quarterback. And we load the line up again, bringing people into the gaps. Brooks going to take it. Give to the running back, fakes it, drops back and fires. Broken up. Kirby Smart on the 31, saved a 20-yard completion intended for Casey Crawford. Smart dove coming across the field. The big receiver had broken open. He's a 6'6" junior. We had 2 or 3 men there, but they were all 5 yards away from him. Virginia had a good play-action fake, and he came out to the left and had a man open. 2nd and 10, Virginia on their own 18. Their back shift, they only have one wide out. Brooks underneath, drops back to throw. Looking, fires a long bomb, and he missed him. He overthrew on the 50 for Ahmad Hawkins. Hawkins can run. Bailey was running about, well, maybe a half a step behind him.
It might be the first time they've thrown towards Champ's side. And then Champ caught, I think, a seam in that turf and took a tumble right at the end of that play. And looks like he's walking a little bit more gingerly than he was when the play started.
Virginia's 3rd and 10. They're inside their own 18. Their lead is down to 7, 21-14. A lot of time to go. Virginia slot right, 1 man left. They go into a shotgun, and we blitz off the left corner, and the pass broken up. And that's Kirby Smart with that receiver out on the 27. Intended for Tim Johnson. Kirby Smart, one of many key men leaving school, made a great play again coming across.
Well, the Bulldogs brought the linebacker that time. Hollingshed lined up in coverage, came in from the left side, and when he did, Smart picked up the coverage on the receiver, and the blitz and the pressure got to Brooks, the quarterback, and he forced a bad pass.
4th down, and Donnie Scott, who's an excellent kicker, as you know, will be punting from around the 5. Good snap, and the kick not as long this time, and Greer takes it on the 40, pulls his leg away, and gets to the 47. Michael Greer took an end-over-end punt that was dropping down. It was still 42 yards. He got a 7-yard return. Georgia, excellent field position and first down. And now only 7 down. Pause for station ID here on the Georgia Bulldog Radio Network.
This is John Mitchell, University of Georgia track coach. You're listening to the official voice of the Georgia Bulldogs, New Country 95.5 WNGC.
Ball is put on the 48 instead of the 47. We break Greer and Small out to the left. Larry Brown splits wide out to the right. Put the backs in an I. Carter takes it, gives it to the tail, and Gary going in has no room to run at all. And there's a little bit of pushing around out on one side at a linebacker. Griffith the end, and Donnie Green, the strong side linebacker, got him for no gain. Dogs couldn't move it. But our offensive line has probably had some problems with that Virginia D-line all night long. 21-14, Virginia by 7. Carter gets underneath, got 3 wide outs. Virginia brings 5 up on the line. Quincy slants, and Bailey drops an open pass on the Virginia 45. He just went down and just curled right back and stood there, and we hit him right in the numbers, and he dropped the ball, and that hurts. Remember the open receiver in the first quarter, Michael Greer, on their 35, running right to left, and nobody around him anywhere, and we overthrew him. Here we dropped one, a little 7-8 yarder, but that hurt. Dogs are 3rd down on the 48, 3rd and 10, a little less than 10. We're in a shotgun, trying to convert again. Snap to Carter. Carter looking, over the middle, complete to Larry Brown. They hit him on the 43. We didn't get the first down, but watch a possible penalty. Watch that penalty. Sweet, the linebacker. Stooks, the corner, got him. We curled Brown across the middle, left to right, for an 8 or 9 yard gain, but we might have a penalty here on this play, and let's see.
It's going to be crucial if that's a hold, because they'll mark it off from the spot of the foul. And if it's where the flag is dropped, Georgia could be back on their own 35-yard line.
Officials are discussing it on the 45.
Virginia has to take the penalty. I mean, Georgia line up and go for it where they are now. They don't have the first down, but they definitely go for it on 4th. So they're going to have to back them up.
A holding penalty. Somebody back there trying to protect Quincy.
Personal foul.
Whoops.
Blow to the face mask. Offense, 15-yard penalty.
15-yard penalty instead of 10. The offense grabbed a face mask. All the way back to the Dogs' 30. Third down. 3rd and long. About 28 to go. Georgia backed up on their own 30 now. And we were starting to play this whole quarter on the other side of the 50. Shotgun with Quincy. 5 receivers. 3rd and long. Quincy takes it, throws out in the left to Bailey, but whistles were blowing. Did we take too much time again? Is that what that is? Let's see. We had a screen over on the left, had blockers out in front of Bailey. The whistles were already blowing. Yes, another penalty.
Delay a game. Offense. 5-yard
and a
penalty.
5-yard penalty. Back to the 25.
I don't understand that at all. I mean, after you've been penalized and then you call for a delay a game, can't get the play in on time after a penalty. That's not good at all.
Well, we're back on our own 25. 3rd down, 32, 33 to go. We've got it down to 7 points. We need to get it out of here. They rush. Quincy throws to Bailey in the flat, complete. He got a block to the 35, got to the 40, no room to run. They force him out. Up around the 41. Play gain 16, 18 yards. Adrian Burnham, who has very good speed, a free safety, got him out. We needed 33. And we got maybe 16 or something. And Wynn Kopp will come in to punt. And Virginia's safety man is Terrence Wilkins. 4th down. We're outside of our own 41. Snap is good. Kopp gets a high spiral. Fair catch called for on the 23. He got that ball up as high as the 3rd deck here in the dome. 35-yard kick, no return. Timeout, pause for these.
Pretty dismal one for Georgia. Let's see how they play on defense with 8:57 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Virginia lines up on their own 23 and a half. Going to an I with 3 wide outs. Aaron Brooks behind the center. We got the number 2 center back in. Hands off to Jones. Broke outside the right tackle of the 30 to the 35. We hit him on the 41. Thomas Jones with a big hole at our left tackle. Glenn Ford had to make the stop, and just like that, Virginia got out of a hole. We really had no momentum turned. Virginia's got a first down between the 40 and the 41. Boy, did he get out of there fast. And again, and I've said this before, you get the impression that they could just line it up and do that. The backs are so quick, and they have size. They flip-flop the tight end and unbalance the line. We jam people up in there close. Brooks underneath, gives to the tail, and we'll jam him up on the line. He got a yard. Thomas Jones, Boss Bailey, the youngster, was the first guy that hit him. And Arandis Grant had a piece of the top, and the ball is going to be spotted around the 42, 2nd and 9. Virginia leading 21-14. It was 21-0 late in the 2nd quarter. 8:02. Now they got a lot of receivers, and the one back is a fullback, Tony Southern, who has a touchdown tonight on a short run. Flag down. And we may have caused a movement. Dogs were jumping linebackers in and out of the line, and the Virginia offensive line moved.
Good ball.
21-14,
Ball start.
7:49
Offense,
in the third
5-yard
quarter.
penalty. Still second down.
Ball comes back to the Virginia 37, barely inside of it.
Second and 14, 37.
Georgia football hotline will be tomorrow night at 8:06. Sunday night, 8:06. Second down, Virginia with a penalty. Back in the 36 and a half. Second down, about 14. They're in a shotgun now. Brooks takes it and runs out to the right. Got a blocker, goes to the corner, and then throws downfield, incomplete. Almost past that line of scrimmage. Trying to hit Terrence Wilkins, who has hurt us twice tonight on deep stuff. Virginia now will be third down and about 14. Their lead is 7 points.
Well, Aaron Brooks has suddenly gone cold. The Virginia quarterback 0 for his last 6, so his number's now 6 out of 16, 112 yards, a couple of touchdowns. And there's a flag down on the play.
Yeah, see it now. Let's get the conversation. Brooks, their quarterback, is acting like he doesn't like it. But I don't know. Kirby Smart is now talking with the officials. They might be giving him an option.
Maybe they did penalize him for throwing beyond the line of scrimmage, Larry. They dropped it right on the line of scrimmage.
Illegal forward pass.
Yeah.
Pass was thrown from beyond the line. 5-yard penalty. Loss of down. Third down.
Loss of down, too. That puts them back to the 32, and they will become third and long, about 20. Third down, about 19 to go, technically. Virginia with the penalty. He penetrated a foot or two across the line of scrimmage as he rolled right and threw on the run. Third down. 21-14. 3 receivers, 1 running back. Brooks decides to go back in a shotgun. Brooks takes a snap and drops back. Flag down. And catch the play here. What do we got now? Did Virginia move again just before the snap? Is that noise in the dome bothering them?
Ball start. Offense.
Ball start again. The crowd on that end where they're playing is the Georgia crowd primarily, and they are making some noise. And somebody had a false start again, and the penalty takes Virginia down to the 27.
And Aaron Brooks has gone to each official and is complaining, I guess, maybe about the noise, like the officials can do something about that. But he went to 4 different officials and complained, throwing up his arms.
Third down. Virginia about 25-24 to go. Brooks back in a shotgun. Snap. Brooks standing there. Got good time. Looking. Throws on a run to Hawkins. Complete. One man missed him on the 33. Another man misses him, and we finally get him on the 45. And watch a possible penalty. What do we got? We got a fumble. There's a fumble, and the Dogs have the ball. Hollinshed and Jeff Harris have the ball on the 47. Hawkins caught the pass, dropped it going down, and on the turnover, the Dogs get the ball. Georgia's ball out on the 47. This is almost becoming a magic third quarter. We're watching the replay now. Glenn Ford, the man that punched the ball out, and then Harris and Hollinshed fell on it. Dogs need another man. Michael Greer runs on the field. We are on the Virginia 47. Got momentum and noise and crowd in our favor. Still down, however, a touchdown. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Quincy runs the option, pitches it to Olandis Gary, trying to get him out. He got 5, he got 10, he got 15, 16, 17, and out of bounds. He had a blocker in front of him pushing. Olandis Gary, who was almost caught in the corner, pulled away around the 5-yard gain mark and again around the 10 or 12 and took it all the way to the Virginia 29. Ligby, the strong safety. Rainier, the middle linebacker, got him. First down. Georgia knocks on the door again. 21-14. 7 minutes to go. Plus 4 seconds. Carter throws in the right flat, complete to Tony Small. One man missed him. He bounced off one and got 6 yards. And Thweet, the linebacker, got him. A man came up one-on-one with him, and Tony Small pulled his leg away somehow. Was out in the right flat and took it from the 29 to the 24 and got 5. It'll be second down. We knock on that door. We're still a touchdown behind. Dogs' offensive line asking the crowd to quiet down. They can't hear the count. They only want him to work on Virginia. 3 wideouts, 1 running back. Quincy throws complete to Parker on the 17. Fighting, trying to go farther. They spin him back. He got possibly to the 15 and a half. Thaddeus Parker caught a ball and tried to wheel around, and somebody grabbed his shirt. He tugged. Stukes, the cornerback, was a man that primarily hung on to him. The Dogs hit a big first down, and they'll bring it out and put it touching the 15-yard line. 15 yards away from possibly tying this thing up. 21-14. Dogs come up to the line. Parker splits wide left. Tony Small right. Tight end Wiggins to the left, and now Brown, the other tight end, moves with him over to the left. Quincy under the center, gives to Alandis Gary, who bursts through the 10, the 5, touchdown! Alandis Gary just shot straight ahead, pulled his leg away, and how he got the last 5 yards, who knows? He's been doing stuff like that all year. Alandis Gary. Boy, will we miss that guy. Hap Hines will try and tie it up. 21-20. Virginia's going to put 10 on the line. Now they put all 11 on the line. Kirby Smart sets it down. The kick is good, and we're all tied up 21-21. 5:50 left to go in the quarter. Quick timeout on the Georgia Bulldog Radio Network.
I'm hanging with my friends at night.
Just come from 21-0 down to tie this game with 5:50 to go in the third. The Dogs 3 touchdowns coming on drives starting on Virginia's side of the 50. It's 21-21 Bulldogs and Cavaliers.
Chad Holloman will kick off again. Tie ball game. A lot of time left to play. Seriously, a lot of time. And the Dogs kick it off. Holloman hits it high and deep. And way back. 4 or 5 yards, 6 yards in the end zone and bouncing through. Holloman hit another long, deep, high one. Lauren, what do you got?
Larry, this is a wild scene on this sideline, and I don't think I've ever seen it any wilder in my years of being associated with Georgia football. You have to say this team is feeling its oats right now. They feel good about what they've done coming from behind as they did. But I think you got to give the crowd credit from 2 standpoints. One, they got into the game and support the Bulldogs, and the other is make it tough for the quarterback to hear.
Virginia on the 20, first down. The backs are in an eye. We bring men up. Brooks back to pass. Got time. Now he's in trouble. We miss him on the 5. He's running far across the field and throws it out of bounds from about the 5 up around the 30. Boy, we chased him. We had a chance to get him deep. Cochran and Brandon Miller breaking through and chasing him. We had 6 men on the line, and the backer leaning close. Marcus Stroud and Miller and Cochran. There were 3 men that were really chasing them back deep. Virginia's second down on the 20. 21-21. Who would have thought they would come back like that? Cavs come up to the ball. They're in an eye. Hollinshed faking blitz in the middle. Brooks gives to that tailback. Jones coming out at the tackle. Cuts in for 3.5. Cochran got him. He got at least 3. And it'll be third down. 21-21 on a New Year's Eve. Man, the Dome really has come alive, and the whole third quarter is being played down on that end of the field in front of the Georgia section. Ball on the 23, Virginia 3rd and 7. Brooks has him in an eye. He's back to pass. He throws a screen out on the right, and Jones gets out to the 25, comes to the 30, gets a first down on the 32. Riding his back, Richard Seymour, the big defensive end. They ran a screen over on the right side, and they gained 10 on the play, or 9 and a first down, and Virginia got out of that hole. When he catches a ball, you don't want him with it because he's too quick. First down, ball outside the 32. 21-21 tie, 4:40 to go. And now less than that in the third quarter. Brooks looks at our defense and points. He takes it, and he gives to Jones, and we hit him right there, and he only got a yard. Marcus Stroud hit him coming into the hole. And the ball is up on the 33. It'll be second down, 9.5. If he got anything, he got about a half a yard. Virginia down there inside of the 33, an inch or two. We're all tied up. And now our defensive line asks the crowd to make noise again as Virginia comes up to the line. Aaron Brooks under the ball. We load the line up. He's back to pass. He's going to throw a long bomb, and he's got a man there, and just overthrew him 6 inches down around our 25. Champ Bailey and Larry Mann were running with Kevin Coffey, the wide receiver. They went for it deep. They figured they got more speed than we have, and he had a half a step lead. And it grazed his hands long and deep. Third down, 21-21. Boy, you think these guys aren't dangerous? Virginia third down on the 32.5. Tie ball game. Now they're in a shotgun. 3 receivers. Brooks. And now we call time. The Dogs call time right here before they run the play. Georgia. Dogs take time. Our outside linebacker, who went out early tonight, Dustin Lucky, was never able to come back in. He's in street clothes, Hondo tells me, over on the far side.
Yeah, he went out with a sprained knee, and his brother, Miles, the center, has been battling 2 knee problems. So the Luckies apparently with knee problems running in the family, at least tonight they are. But Miles has stayed in the ball game to his credit, despite his injuries.
And Boss Bailey then has been playing in Dustin Lucky's spot most of the night. Virginia needs 9.5, almost 10 here on third down to get the ball away from that end of the field where we have just kept them pinned the whole quarter. 3:44 to go in the third quarter. Rich Robich jumping up and down now and telling the crowd to make noise again. Tie ball game, third quarter. Man, if one quarter's going to have all of this in it, but come to think of it, the second quarter had a lot in it too, in the way of points. What's the fourth going to do? Virginia up to the line. Their number 2 center, George Seals, on the ball. They're in a shotgun. 2 receivers left and 1 right. Brooks standing back there, takes the snap. And looking. Whips it down the middle, complete on the 50. He ran away from one man, and one guy missed him, and finally another missed him. We chase him, and he gets a block. Touchdown, Terrence Wilkins. They just have too much speed. And Virginia strikes a long 68-yard play. They've hit him twice deep tonight, but he did most of that on his own. Guys had him by the arms and by the shoulder pads, pulling at him from behind or the side, and could never pull him down. And suddenly it's 27-21. He came streaking, and he made a great catch of a ball at full speed, and then he kept pulling his body away from guys that were trying to tackle him high. They couldn't get set to tackle him. He's too fast. Todd Braverman will try the extra point. It's a 6-point game. They set it down, and the kick is up. No good. They missed it. Hey, wait a minute now. Keep your mind on that. They missed an extra point. It's 27-21 with 3:29 to go. We are in a 6-point game here late in the third quarter.
Well, that play right there, that touchdown, Larry, had more to do with bad tackling and trying to strip the ball out than anything else. After Georgia made contact, Kirby Smart tried to rip it out once and then twice got him up high around the shoulders, and Wilkins was able to turn his body and get away from Kirby. That was, I'm sure he'd like to have that to try again. He might just try to tackle the man instead of rip the ball out of his hands.
And down around the 10 or 15, he got a block when man was coming up and was going to get him. So Virginia now takes the lead back, but it's 27-21. 3:29 to play. Patrick Pass, who hasn't touched the ball in a century, back there with Champ Bailey. Boy, he ought to have fresh legs. Kickoff. High, going to drop down on the 4-yard line to Champ Bailey. Bailey trying to find room and come up the middle, and got hit around the 25. And the Dogs will line it up there. 21-27, 3:19 to go. Jason Small, a cornerback by trade, was the guy that knocked him down. Lauren, what do you got?
Larry, not only did that touchdown run give them the lead again, it sort of quietened this end of the Georgia Dome. It's not nearly as vocal as it was, but maybe it'll come back and give the Bulldogs a boost.
Dogs on their own 25. 75 yards to go. Late in the third quarter. Trailing 27-21. 2 wide outs. A tight end standing up. Tight end now in motion. And Quincy hands to Gary, trying to get him out to the left corner. No room to run. They only get a yard. Went to the short side. There's no room there. They strung it out too well, and we couldn't block that guy in the corner. That was Rainier, the linebacker, primarily, but also the defensive end on that side played it well, Patrick Kearney. We got 1.5 yards, second down. So we need 8.5 for a first down. Virginia leads 27-21. Is this going to be another one of those Peach Bowls like it seems to be every single year? Just wild and frantic right down to the end? Well, we'll see. Small left, Parker and Greer right. Carter takes, looks, and throws, and it's batted at the line. And the guy that hit it was turning around and wanted to catch it. The big lineman that hit it was Maurice Anderson, the big nose guard. And it'll be third down.
And Travis Griffith nearly had an interception there. The ball deflected into his arms, and he just couldn't hang on to it. At nearly another interception for Virginia.
Well, we're third down. Need to convert, or we'll have to kick it away. Shotgun down on our own 27. Virginia is a man up on the corner, almost in a 5-man line. Whoa, catch the movement. Did our tackle move first? He may have, and we may have put ourselves in a hole here with that one. The two sides accusing each other of starting the movement. And I thought that our tackle moved.
False start, offense, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Well, now you're going to be third down and 13. Back on our 22. Now you need a lot of yards. And that might change the play selection.
Well, it's things like that that have kept Georgia from sustaining a long drive tonight. Their longest touchdown drive is only 49 yards. Their 3 scores all starting on Virginia's side of the 50 tonight.
Virginia players asking their fans down on that other end of the dome now to make noise and bother our count. We're in a shotgun and we have 4 men out. And now Quincy wants to call time. Quincy calls time here to talk about the play. 3 minutes and 10 seconds. It seems like all of a sudden this football game just stopped dead. And it's not moving. It'll be 3rd and 13 when it comes back in.
Well, this has really been a game of momentum swings, Larry. The first quarter was more or less a draw, and then the second quarter was heavily in Virginia's favor until late in the second quarter when Georgia finally got on the board with that touchdown. And then Georgia's had all the momentum in the third quarter until about the last couple of minutes or so. And now it's starting to swing back towards Virginia's side. And if certainly Virginia's defense comes up with a big third down play here and forces Georgia to punt, they're going to have that much more on their side.
They lead 27-21. 3rd and 13. And the Cavaliers break out on defense. Pause for station identification here on the Georgia Bulldog Radio Network.
This is Manuel Diaz, University of Georgia men's tennis coach. You're listening to the official voice of the Georgia Bulldogs, New Country 95.5 WNGC.
Third down and long, though not overly long. Parker, Small, and Greer out here on the right. Champs out on the left by himself. And Virginia charge across the field, violently offside. And Quincy sprinting over to the left, completed a long, deliberately incomplete pass. Virginia's left end ran about 10 feet across the line, but let's see, are they going to say that we pulled him off? He was the only man that moved, and boy, did he sprint across the line.
Live ball, offside, defense, 5-yard penalty,
yeah.
Still 3rd down.
He was offside. When the play ended, he was already pointing at us and saying that we pulled him off. 3:05. You know, it's been just a little over 3 minutes ago now for almost an hour. We're still in the third quarter. Virginia leads 27-21. Shotgun. 3 right, 1 left. Carter back. Whips a bullet, threw it low and bounced it off the ground. Incomplete. The receiver, Bailey, was so covered out of the 35, it didn't matter. He couldn't possibly have caught a ball. Quincy skipped it off the ground. Down by everybody's shoes. 4th down, we're going to have to kick it away. And the young freshman kicker, Wynn Kopp, is in. Wilkins is a deep man for Virginia. They're running another substitute out late, trying to get ready. And he comes up and joins the line. They've loaded the line now pretty good. And Wynn Kopp gets a kickoff. And fair catch around the 39. Kopp kicks it out of there, but only 34 yards, no return. And Virginia will put it in play on the 39-yard line. And they'll be first down there with 2:55 to go in the third quarter. Boy, the Cavaliers almost got caught one man shy. In fact, almost with 2 men shy. They got the lead back, though, and they've got the ball. Will they go to that running game? First down, Virginia on the 39. Crowd starting to holler at him again. They're in an eye. He turns, he gives it to that guy. Jones had a little hole. We hit him on the 43. Rich Robich got him. He came back at technically our right tackle, and he moved 3 yards to the 42, 2nd down. 27-21, Virginia leads. Getting late here in the third quarter. Cavaliers huddling. Now they come up to the line in those black jerseys. Brooks looks at our defense, and we start to load the line up on him again. Brooks takes it. He's going to run out here and sprint to the left side. Wants to throw on a run, and incomplete. He had a receiver there. We had him double covered. He hit his hands about 6 feet out of bounds down around our 30. Luzar, the tight end, was a man down there, and Virginia's going to be third down on their own 42. And they still got a 6-point lead.
Larry, you were talking about the Peach Bowl and how it's been the last few years. In fact, in the last 14 games, 11 of these bowl games have been decided by 4 points or less only one decided by more than 5, and that was when Virginia beat Georgia in 95 by 7 points.
And that was in the last minute. 3rd and 7. Virginia goes shotgun. And Brooks back to throw. Stops, fires, too high, incomplete. And over our bench, Jennifer Luzar, the big tight end, a 6'7" guy, a redshirt freshman. Josh Millard and Boss Bailey trying to get in on him, and Robich trying to put pressure on him. 4th down, Virginia, with that great punter, Donnie Scott, will be punting. Michael Greer will be a lone safety. 2:06 to go in the 3rd quarter. Virginia's got a 6-point lead. They will kick it away here. And the snap. And Scott kicks high, short, off the right side of his foot. Michael Greer up to catch it, running on the 26, and takes it out of bounds on the 34. His momentum taking him out. He did not get a good punt off. 36-yard punt and an 8-yard return, and the Dogs will have the ball, and it'll be on their own 33. 1:56. Dogs get the ball back, and the last time now we went backwards. Again, the football call-in show will be Sunday night at 8:06. Georgia up to the line on the 33. Slot right. Gary alone back. Wiggins in motion, slow to the right. And we try to find a little hole for Gary, and we find it, and he pulls his feet away and gets 10 yards out to the 43. Just like he runs. Just stumbling almost off balance and down low. And John Duckett, the linebacker, got his shoe from behind, but the play went 11 and a 1st down on the 44. Gary didn't have a lot of room, especially after he got about the 6-7 yard mark, but he took it on and got 11. And we come up to the line late in the 3rd quarter. Slot right. We're 6 points behind. Big Wiggins in motion out to the left, and then he comes back. And Quincy gives it to Gary. No room, nothing at all at right tackle. And it'll be 2nd and 10. Couldn't block the tackle on that side. And it will be 2nd down and 10, and we're sitting outside of our 44. Champ Bailey back in, and Wiggins coming out. Wiggins is another guy that will be leaving the squad. This is his final game. I've tried to keep on reading their names all night. We are really going to miss this bunch that's leaving. 1 receiver left, 2 right. Gary, the running back, 2nd down. Play action fake. Quincy back in trouble, but now he sprints left. He stops and runs right into the tackler on the 40. The tackler had gotten away from the blocker. Antonio Dingle, the big nose guard, took about a 4-yard loss back to the 40. Looked like he had room to get outside, and he stopped and tried to duck under him and ran right into him. 3rd down. Last 2 times that we had the ball, now we have not moved it. 3rd and 14. Trailing 27-21, and the momentum had really gone in our favor for the first 2/3 of this quarter.
Better watch the clock, too. They've only got 8 seconds on the play clock.
Dogs up to the line, need to hurry. We're in a shotgun. And Quincy takes a snap in time and looks for people and looks and stops. Then he goes the other way, and he's got room, and he finds Champ Bailey, completing the 35, Champ to the 25, out of bounds. They shove him around the 18. Quincy going back and forth. Eligby, the strong safety, shoved him out. Champ broke late clear and took us all the way to the Virginia 18 as the 3rd quarter ends. And Quincy had to really move around to finally get free to throw it. That'll be the end of the 3rd quarter, and it's 27-21 Virginia, and we'll go down to the other end of the field. And the Cavs have a 6-point lead. Quick timeout here on the Georgia Bulldog Radio Network.
What could be better than a new car this summer? Well, try 2 new cars, like the newest Chevron toy cars. Danny Driver and Leslie LX. Born to teach, Danny Driver's dual steering wheels make driver's ed a lesson in fun. And for high class, Leslie LX has a luxury interior and a sliding sunroof. And they're only $5.99 each with any purchase at participating Chevron stations, while supplies last. Chevron, simply smarter.
Boswell Oil is a proud sponsor of Georgia Bulldogs football.
Hey everyone, it's time for another Bell South Mobility Georgia Bulldogs trivia question. Georgia has 2 Heisman Trophy winners. Who are they and what year did they win their trophies? While you think this over, we'd like to remind you that Bell South Mobility offers all the advantages of digital wireless service, like voicemail and caller ID. Bell South Mobility, like the Georgia Bulldogs, you can count on it. The recipients of the Heisman Trophy were Herschel Walker in 1982 and Frank Sinkwich in 1942.
The Women's Basketball Tip-Off Classic, the U.S. Figure Skating Championships, the Women's Volleyball Classic, the LPGA Rail Classic. Hi, I'm Nancy Lopez, and I'm proud to say that for years, State Farm has been there as a leading sponsor of women's sports, including every one of these major events, because they believe that everyone should see just how far hard work and determination can take you.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, this is Jim Donnan. You know the Bulldogs rely on team depth to win football games. And here's another winning team that's deep in quality, Discount Auto Parts. You see, they have the widest inventory of auto parts around, so you can pick up just about anything you're looking for with one simple stop. And with plenty of conveniently located stores to serve you, you'll always find what you need, when you need it. More parts, more locations, more good reasons to rely on the pros at Discount Auto Parts.
You're listening to the Peach Bowl on the official voice of the Dogs, WNGC, Athens.
Getting set to go for the final 15 minutes, which could take about an hour or two the way this one's being played tonight. We're approaching 3 hours. We're right at it in this ball game and just starting the fourth quarter. And Georgia trying to move in to tie this thing up and possibly take the lead if they can get 7 out of it.
Third quarter took 55 minutes, but man, a lot happened in the third quarter. 27-21 Virginia, 1 quarter left, and we've got the ball on their 18-yard line on that scramble play at a reverse direction, and a long completed pass to Bailey, who just didn't have enough room on the sideline. Virginia's big defensive back, who's injured, keeps moving up and down that sideline, hollering at his teammates. Dogs ball, option. Carter out to the right, but the flags are flying already. There was a penalty. Quincy coming out to the right. Let's catch the penalty. And there's an exchange of words between Carter and that linebacker Rainier, who was trying to stop him. Catch the penalty, and we may have made a move. Let's see. Boy, we've had a lot of penalties. You know, we've had a lot of penalties just in the second half. We've only played a quarter.
Ball start. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
How many penalties have we had in the second half alone? Now they got me looking about. Well, each side only had 2 in the first half. Ball back in the 23. We're 1st and 15. 23 yards plus a few inches to tie it up. Dogs up to the line. Miles lucky. The center gets over the ball. Virginia's got 5 on the line. Wiggins in motion. Quincy takes a snap back there and looks for somebody and throws to big Larry Brown complete, and they hit him right away. We didn't get much. Only about 3 yards. Thweet the linebacker and Stooks the corner covering it. Not a big gain there, but about 3 yards, and it's going to be 2nd down and at least 12 to go. In fact, they put it back to the 21. He really only got 2 yards. 2nd down, 13. Michael Greer runs into the bench with a play. Wiggins comes out. Dogs just inside the 21-yard line, and they need 6 to tie. 2 men left, 1 right. Shotgun. Carter takes it. Quincy drops back, fires, and it is complete to big Larry Brown on the 14. And they're going to wrestle him back finally and put him down, but he may have penetrated to the 12. Donnie Green, the linebacker, was the first guy that hit him, and then 2 or 3 guys came up to help him to pull him back. Where they're going to mark it. The official says his forward progress was a 12. So they got about 9 on the play, but it's third and about 14. This is a new Georgia Dome attendance record tonight, 72,876. We are on the Virginia 12. In fact, the football's across the 12. Third down and need just about 4. Wiggins in motion over to the strong side. Quincy takes it, runs an option, 10, 5, and got hit on the 2.5 or 3. I thought he was going all the way in. Legby, the strong safety, got him and had to get him. Came out and ran the option and turned it inside the end where he had a lot of room. We are goal to go on the Virginia 2-yard line. 6 points down. Bradley has come in for blocking purposes. Thaddeus Parker comes out, who had been a receiver. Now the 2 tight ends go out. Tony Small is out, and now Brown goes back into the line, and so does Small. Now everybody's back in. We're in a power eye, and they hand it, and we leap in there, but they aren't going to give it to us. Yeah, they do. It is a touchdown. We got, apparently, the shoulder pads. Olandis Gary got it up in the air and broke the plane before they forced him back. It took them a long time to put their arms up. And those Beanie Baby moo cows, whatever they are, come sailing out the stands again. There was one in every seat at the beginning of the game. Now you're 27-27, and Hap Hines will try the extra point. Carter's option run set that up. Ball set down, the kick is up, kick is good, and the Dogs take the lead for the first time, 28-27. But there is all night to play. 12:52 left to go. Georgia leads 28-27. Timeout, these words on the Georgia Bulldog Radio Network.
The clock is ticking at Georgia Square Auto Center. A great 98 winning season is winding down, and North Georgia's favorite automotive group is at it again. Our year-end blowout on all inventory in stock. 99 Buicks, Pontiacs, Isuzus, Volkswagens, and Mercedes. You're too late for big deals on 98s. They're gone. But for a limited time only, enjoy similar savings on all our 99 inventory in stock. Big deals, big rebates with interest rates as low as 3.9%.
For the first time after a 67-yard drive in 9 plays, their longest drive of the evening. 28-27, they now lead. They were down 21-0. Last time Georgia came back from 21 down, the Auburn game, 1996, they trailed 28-7 in the second quarter. You'll remember that game. It went to overtime at the end of regulation, and Georgia won it 56-49.
Chad Holloman will kick off. 28-27. We got an hour left to play. Holloman hits it very high, deep inside the 5. Womack dropped it on the 3. He picks it up on the 6 or 7. He's out here to the right to the 15 and got it out to the 24. Had enough speed to save what could have been a very bad recovery for them. Dropped it. It hit his hands on the 3 and it rolled across the 5. Glenn Ford got him and Jermaine Wiggins got him. Now Virginia's got the ball on their own 24. And they are a point down. Remember, they missed an extra point in that third quarter. Virginia, first down on their own 24 and a half almost. They're in an eye. They got a slot out left. Aaron Brooks, the quarterback. Will they just run it at us? St. Clair, the starting center's back in. He fakes. He throws out on the left flat. And first man misses him, and the second got him. About a 4-yarder. Champ missed him, and then Jeff Harris got him. That was Terrence Wilkins, a receiver who's hurt us all night. He threw it deep across the field and got about 4 yards up to the 28 and a half. It'll be second down and 6. We had 2 men on that receiver wide, and he pulled away from Champ. But then Harris came up and got him. Virginia, second down. They flopped the tight end around. We've loaded the lineup pretty good now. Brooks is looking at it a little. Takes it. He's back to throw. Looks, fires off the receiver's hands. A tight end, I think, out in the 35. Casey Crawford, a big 6'6 junior. threw it hard right off his hands, or they would have had 10 yards or so on a first down. And now it becomes third down and about 6. Brandon Miller coming back in, and the Marlis Leroy going out. Miller's back next year, but Leroy isn't. Virginia on their 28.5, third down. They need almost 6. Not quite. Slot right. One man left, one running back. Brooks underneath, dropping back to pass. We blitz on him. He fires out in the flat, complete, and Champ Bailey knocks him down in the corner. He only got a half a yard. He threw to Southern, the big fullback. Champ turned him upside down on the 28.5 for no gain. And it'll be fourth down, and that fine punter, Donnie Scott, is coming in to try to kick him out of there. Virginia's fourth down. Bailey made a play that he had to make. The receiver was isolated and alone out on the right. Scott the punt. We're going to load up the line. Now we back off. Remember, we blocked one tonight. Snap is good, and Scott kicks, 78 miles. Greer backing all the way to the 14-yard line. Needed a block, got a partial one, 20, 25, and out of bounds. He was lucky to come back those 11 yards. Flag down late. Flag down. Wait a minute, we may have a penalty. 57-yard punt, an 11-yard return, but catch a penalty. And I don't like where it went throwing. I'm hoping we didn't have somebody fly over there and get in the pile late. Virginia acts like we have committed a foul. Boy, have we been penalized in this second half.
During the return, illegal block in the back, above the waist by the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down 10.
Well, the field position wouldn't have been too bad, but now it becomes bad. Back to our 15. Now we have 85 yards to go. We're leading 28-27. Dogs with the ball on their own 15. They're down in front of their own end zone where their fans are. They were facing the other way in the third quarter, and they almost dominated that whole quarter. 11 minutes to play, and that is an eternity. Virginia in a 4-4. Now a man comes up in the corner. We snap it to Carter, who rolls out to the right, looking, and he throws a long bomb, and Michael Greer made a diving catch down on their 33. Michael Greer, like an Olympic sprinter and diver, down the right side, landing on his chest. Tim Spruill, the cornerback, with him. Quincy rolled right, threw it 100 yards down the right side, and somehow Michael Greer caught up to the ball. With sheer luck, but great effort and speed. And we got 35, 45. We got 51, 52 yards on the play, all the way down to the Virginia 33. Dogs up to the ball on the Virginia 33. Got a slot left. Orlandis Gary up to get the play again from Quincy, and then he backs up. First down, give it to Gary at the tackle. Gary lunging over the 30. Got almost 5 yards. Spruill, the cornerback, hanging on to him. We had a hole at right tackle on that play. We had a hole. He got it over the 29. He got 4.5 yards at second down. 5.5 to go. 28-27 and 10:09. Georgia up to the line on the Virginia 28.5 with a 1-point lead. 2 wideouts, a tight end standing up. The tight end goes in motion. And so we give it to Gary at right tackle. Leans over the 25. It's not a first down. He got about 3. Somebody hanging on to him. He tried to lunge for the extra yards. Boy, you've got a third down play here now on the 25. Third down and 1 yard and 2/3 if you want to be technical. Ball on the 25. A couple of inches across. Got to go to the 23.5. Third down. Rainier, their fine middle linebacker, made that last stop. Dogs break 3 men out to the left, 1 to the right. Quincy's in a shotgun with Gary. Third down. They need a couple of yards. He takes it. He pitches it out to Gary, who got a block. Gary got to the 20. Gary to the 15, down to the 13, and a first down. Olandis Gary got about a dozen yards on the play, close to it. Ligby, the strong safety. Rainier, the big linebacker, got him. It's on the Virginia 13, first down. Bradley in, blocking purposes. Thaddeus Parker out. 9:01, and the clock is moving.
Well, if Georgia wins this thing, Olandis Gary's got to be the MVP. He's already scored 2 touchdowns. He's over 100 yards.
We are on the 13, first down. 4 wideouts, 2 to each side. Gary behind him, and Carter hands it to him. A hole at the guard, and they shut it down on the 10. I don't know if he got to the 10. That was Bradley up the middle instead of Olandis Gary. Donnie Green, the strong side linebacker, got him. They will put it on the 10.5, so the gain was 2.5, second down. 8:25 and the clock running. We're leading by 1 point. Greer back in and Olandis Gary out. He's got to be tired. How many carries did you say he had?
I've got him for 19 carries, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Dogs are 10.5 yards away from it, leading by 1 point. Fourth quarter. 2 wideouts right, 2 wideouts left. And Quincy Carter runs an option, and he cuts in for 5, 6, 7 yards. He got it down to about the 3. Boy, he had a hole for a moment when he came to that right tackle and leaned in. Green, the linebacker, Anderson, the nose guard, got him. And Quincy's got the ball. They may have to measure this thing. It's on the 3. It is going to really be close. Clock is 7:45. Score is 28-27. And they set it down, and ooh, they look at it. Oh, look at them, look. We're an inch shy. We are going to be third down and an inch on the 3-yard line.
Third down and inches.
Now, if you were the head of the defense, what would you call? Would you just stack that line in there and maybe have a couple blitz as well? Would you figure we were going to just jump for a first down? It's third down and an inch. It might be 2 inches. Greer breaks out right. Tony Small left. Quincy Carter underneath. Running back Bradley. And Quincy sneaks at left guard for a first down. I think he got 1.5 yards. He lunged in there. And he's a big freshman. And from the 3, I think he got it to the 1.5.
Boy, he darn near scored on that. Looked like he was going to go body sailing into the end zone. He just kind of rode the wave down to the 1.
Ball is on the 1. He got 2 big yards, but the front nose of the football is barely on the 1. It might still be outside of the 1. And Olandis Gary says, we want to call time here. That's what he said to the official. Now we better hurry in the huddle.
Yeah, they're going to have to call a time. They got 5 seconds on the play clock.
Now we line up. Will we get the snap? We do. And Quincy dove in the end zone at left guard. Quincy on a keep just as the clock was running out. Lunged at left guard and got half his body in the end zone. And we're leading 34-27. And now the extra point is very big.
Boy, how'd they get that playoff? They were still in the huddle with 5 seconds to go.
When the clock moved back past 4, I was really looking at him and wondering if they'd get that snap off. Virginia will try to block this extra point. Hap Hines has it set for him, sticks it up, good. And we're 35-27, 7:01 to play. Timeout, these words on the Georgia Bulldog Radio Network.
That marks the end of the second period. And now, for your entertainment, Powerade presents Poets of the National.
We'll keep the other one for a while.
Chad Holloman will want to kick off. Virginia will receive. Womack will be there deep back in the middle when they let us go. 7:01. That's a long time to play. All of a sudden, we are acting like we can move the ball on them and drive it. And primarily on the ground. However, Michael Greer's catch set that last thing up, and it was a phenomenal catch.
Well, that drive went 85 yards, Larry, in 8 plays, and the Carter to Greer pass covered 52 of that.
Holloman will kick off. Virginia has 3 men inside of the 10 with Womack in the middle. 35-27, but there's still a lot of time to play. Look at your wristwatch if you don't believe me. Kickoff high and going to be short. Comes down to about the 10. James Johnson coming up the middle. We hit him on the 22 or 23. Arnaud was one of the men that hit him. And let's catch the other one. Arnaud and Chad Talton were the 2 guys that hit him. Arnaud from behind, Talton off the side, and Virginia will line up on the 23. Now, Virginia's got 77 yards to go, and they need 8 points. Remember, they've thrown some deep stuff on us tonight to Wilkins. They've got speed to burn. 3 receivers, 2 left and 1 right. Brooks looking and pointing at the defense. And Brooks going to take it and drop back to throw. We miss him behind the line. He's running out. The linebacker misses him. He's on the 25, and we run him out on the 28. Corey Robinson ran him out. Boy, Hollinshed missed him right on the line as he came out to the left corner. Had him for a moment by the wrist. 6:45 to go. Virginia wants a long drive here. They only need 8 points. They need to score and go for 2. Boy, he really stiff-armed Hollinshed on that replay. Virginia up on the 3rd, 28.5. Second down now on only 4. Quarterback kept it and got 6. Slot right with an eye. Slot man in motion. Goes over to the other side, and Brooks going to hand it to the running back, and we hit him right there on the 30. Hollinshed, one of the men that hit Thomas Jones, and also Rich Robich on the play. Flag down after the play. Catch the call. What do we got here? Ball will be on the 30, but let's catch a penalty. That'll move that ball. He's facing against us. Boy, have we had penalties in this half. Face mask. And we give him a big, juicy, fat first down.
Yeah, that's a killer. That's
just
15.
like we gave him the first couple of touchdowns. Terrible, long 15-yard penalty out to the 45. First down, Virginia, with 6:38 to go. Somebody grabbed a face mask in there. And instead of being 3rd and short, they are first down all the way up on the 45. Virginia trying to get 8 points to tie this thing up. 6:34. Virginia now only 55 yards away from it. We load the line, and Brooks comes back. Steps up in the pocket. He's going to run. One man pulled him down on the 45 for no gain. Boss Bailey got him from behind. Got him up high on the shoulder pads, and it'll be 2nd and 10. We got an 8-point lead, but the other guy's got the ball, and it's like you're hanging on to a wildcat. 2nd down on the 45. Virginia on the hash marks on this near side. What they'll suddenly do to you is throw long and really make you think, because they got some fly people that can go. They break Wilkins way out to the left. Coffey slotted with him, one running back. Jones out on the right, and Brooks takes it, and there was a flag down, and they didn't have a delay of game, but there could have been a movement on the offensive line, I'm guessing, from the way George is acting.
Ball start, offense.
Ball start in the offense, and Virginia takes a penalty of 5 yards back to the 40. So they'll be 2nd down and 15. Remember now, they're only 8 points down. 5:31.
But they've struggled to get the ball in the end zone or get it through the uprights. At the 5:56 mark in the second quarter, they went up 21-0. And since then, Georgia's outscored them 35-6.
Virginia shotgun. 3 receivers, 2 left and 1 right. Brooks is pointing to everybody to make sure they pick up what looks like a blitz. Brooks takes it. And Brooks wants to run. One man missed him. He stumbles. He runs to the 40, the 45, the 50, the 45, and slides down with a big first down on our 40. Couple guys missed him. Boy, he just burst up the middle with that speed, and now they're on our 41 with 5:05 to go. They need 8 points to tie this game up and force us into guess-you-know-what. 35-27. They have got such speed. One of their big linemen has got a shoe problem and was trying to get it fixed. A big tackle, Lawson. They had to put another tackle in. Virginia on our 41. After that scramble up the middle. And Brooks faking, looking, whips one down the middle, complete, and we hit him on our 30, but I think he's got a first down. Terrence Wilkins, a guy who's hurt us all night. Cavaliers coming down the field, and at the moment we don't look like we can stop him. Champ Bailey got him on the 28. They got a dozen yards and a first down. They are 28 yards away from tying this thing up.
Well, Wilkins has had a huge night. 6 catches, 160 yards receiving, and 2 touchdowns. He only had 1 touchdown all season long, and he's nearing his career best in yardage received.
Our defense asked the crowd to get in it again to try and bother the Cavaliers' snap count. They're on our 28. They're trying to tie it up. Brooks underneath. Play action, back to throw. Fakes, pumps, and throws long down in the corner, and we may have intercepted the ball. Somebody jumped up high. Corey Robinson, the play of the year on defense, maybe. Up in front of the receiver. The receiver was Kevin Coffey, a 6'4" sophomore, who turned around to catch it, and Corey Robinson intercepted 3 yards in the end zone down on one side. Unbelievable defensive play, a 5'11" sophomore out of Tucker. 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go. He turned around and faced 2 when his receiver right next to him turned around to wait for it, and the ball was on its way. He really jumped, and he's not that big. Now you have got to hang on to the ball and move that ball. 4 minutes and 10 seconds. 8-point lead. We get the ball back, and Virginia just drove that thing. How far? 60 yards or so?
Yeah, they started at their own 23. They moved it down to the 28, so they were definitely threatening. Let's go down to the sidelines and Lauren Smith. Lauren?
The first person to Corey when he came off the field was Mickey Matthews, who really felt so good about that, I'm sure, because he coaches defensive backs now, and that was a big-time play, and when a player makes a play like that.
Well, we're on the 20. And they move that ball. I'm trying to figure out how much. I think 57 yards before the interception. We're 80 yards away from it. But we've got an 8-point lead. It's the clock now that you want. And the yardage, piece by piece. And we drove one like that in that third quarter and another one early in the fourth. However, there was a long catch involved with that long drive. That Michael Greer play when he stretched his body out for a 52-yarder. Well, when we snap it, we'll be on the 20. Now Greer comes on the field. Carter comes on the field. Alanis Gary on the field. Big Wiggins is coming out. 8-point lead. If the timeout lasts any longer, they'll drop that ball downtown and in New York also. First down on the 20. Dogs huddle. 8 points, but there's 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Now we break 2 men out left and 1 right. We go into a shotgun. Virginia's in a 4-man line. Quincy Carter takes it and looks and finds a hole and cuts in and tries to go back and gets stopped for no gain. He tried to turn around and go out to the corner or maybe go back. He had a big hole in front of him and took no gain on the play. Griffith, the end, got him. Rayner, the middle linebacker, got him, and it's 2nd and 10. Boy, did he have room to run when he started out. 3:43, the clock's running, but it's moving too slow. Wiggins sprints on the field. They better watch the clock. 2nd down and 10. Now it's moving under 10 seconds, and we're up on the line. Two receivers right. They better watch the clock. And Quincy hasn't seen the clock. Now he takes it. He fakes a sweep. He goes back, and he throws one down the middle, and it is broken up. Wiggins turned around to face the ball in the 45, and they almost had an interception. Antoine Harris, a cornerback, had his hands on it.
Boy, that looked like it should have been an interception. Harris, he may have come up with the play, but you know, if that's in your hands like it appeared to be, and it was, oh man, Georgia got a huge break as Harris looked like the receiver. He was running towards the end zone to our left and just dropped the ball.
Now,
he should have had it.
3rd and 10. How much of a chance do you have for a first down? You had to get a first down. You had to kill some clock. We have not been able to do it. 3 minutes and 15 seconds, 8-point lead. 2 men left, 1 right. Virginia's in a 5-man line. They try to blitz him off the corner. He throws it, dropped because he threw it too high. Larry Brown jumped both hands on it on the 27, and he's a big guy, couldn't hang on. Virginia stopped us here, and they're going to have plenty of time to get the ball back and come down the field. Corey Robinson just went to the locker room with Dr. Robinson, Dr. Mixon Robinson. Corey was hurt apparently on the interception. Well, we got a punt. Virginia's got 8 on the line, and the young freshman Kopp is standing back on the 5. Snap is all right. He gets a kickoff barely. It's not real long. It's on the Virginia 47 where it's taken, and we hit the guy on our 44. That was
we got a flag down
now
too late.
Flag down late. Wait a minute, we might have a penalty. It was Terrence Wilkins at speed burner, 33-yard punt, a 9-yard return, but catch a penalty. There's a flag down in the 38. The ball is on our 44. I don't know what we got here, but penalties have really hurt us. Oh, face mask on the Dogs.
We got offsetting. Personal foul on Virginia. And
yeah. Now Virginia acts angry when they find out there was another penalty as well. They're going to take the ball back. What they're going to do with the ball? Now the officials huddle, 5 of them. One of them goes to the Virginia quarterback and talks to him. Virginia's going to be given an option, I believe, that may force us to punt again. Though they got excellent field position because the kick was not long. They're still talking to Brooks, the quarterback. And he's pointing at the Dogs saying, go ahead and penalize them. There's another flag way down on the 11-yard line. We may be really in a hole.
Holding, offense, that penalty is declined. Dead ball after the run back. Personal foul on the return team. 15-yard penalty, first down 10.
First penalty on us declined. Second penalty will be a 15-yarder on Virginia. They won't be on our 44. They're going to pace it back across. No wonder a couple of their linemen jumped when they heard the call. We had a holding call back on the line. Virginia declined the penalty. There was a 15-yarder on them after the play, which took it all the way back to the Virginia 41. That's not really all the way back.
Yeah, they just want the ball. They don't care how much, where they have it. They just want it because they're up against the clock now with 2:59 to go, and they're down by 8.
But we failed to move it off the 20. That really bothers me. We couldn't get that first down and eat the clock. Here comes Virginia up to the line. They need 8 points. 2:59 to go. We put 5 men and we back off. And Brooks hands it. There's a big hole for that running back, and he jumps to the 47, Thomas Jones. Gosh, they opened a hole at right tackle. Grant pulled on his ankles from behind. He went down up around the 46 or so. He squirted through from the 41 and got it up to the 46 and a half. Second down, 5. Virginia's 8 points down. 2:35 and the clock running. They're in an eye. We load the lineup. Brooks takes it, and he hands it to him again, and they shoot him up the middle, and he breaks down over our 45, over our 35, and we'll push him out down around the 25. Thomas Jones, we didn't have anybody fast enough to catch him. He was slanting long to the right. And with 2:23 to go, Virginia down here knocking on the door, trying to tie it up and shove us into overtime. We can't catch some of that speed. They're first down on our 25. You realize the break we got on that penalty and got them all the way back to the 41, and in 2 plays, they have moved that ball 30 yards. 2:23 to go. We got an 8-point lead, but Virginia's got the ball. And after Corey Robinson's great play, we jam up on the line, and Brooks gives it to him, and we hit him back on the 30, about a 5-yard loss. Thomas Jones, Marcus Stroud led that big rush. Thomas Jones took a 5-yard loss from the 25 back to the 30. 2:06. They need only 8 points, which means a touchdown and a 2-point play.
Well, that's some serious defensive pressure right there, and a simple handoff, and you lose 5 yards.
Minute 54. Now it's running less than that. 3 receivers, 1 running back, and the running back is Southern. Brooks underneath. He's dropping back to pass. He fires, and it's incomplete off the receiver's hands. And we almost intercepted behind Jones, the running back. Larry Mann trying to reach behind him, but his momentum was carrying him the other way. Here's a 3rd and 15 will be coming up now on the 30 with 1:43. But that's a long time. And Brooks is sitting down. I don't know if this is an injury or an equipment thing. The official waved to the bench and told him to come out. Aaron Brooks is sitting down. I don't know if he has a foot problem or not. He's not lying down, not acting like pain, but something may have happened to an ankle or a foot or something. Virginia gathers around him. Ball on the 30. Is it 1999 yet?
Getting close, about 3 hours away.
It'll be 3rd and 15. And Brooks sitting down, and they're gathered all around him. Lauren, what do you got?
Well, Corey Robinson has a hip pointer. He's okay, but they decided to take him in the locker room, and you saw him leave the field. Dr. Mixon Robinson. I don't know what's wrong with Brooks, but I do know this. He's giving his teammates a little breather.
What are you saying, Lauren? Well, he's going to go back into the game, so they'll take a timeout, I guess.
And now Virginia takes time. Is that their last timeout? Quick timeout here on the Georgia Bulldog Radio Network.
Well, Aaron Brooks apparently okay. Virginia went ahead and took the timeout. 35-27, Georgia leading with 1:43 to go, but Virginia with the ball and on the Georgia 30.
3rd and 15. Look at the clock is just sitting there. Virginia's in a shotgun. They got 4 receivers, 1 running back, and that's Jones, and he's hard to handle. You can't handle him at all if you can't catch him. Brooks back in a shotgun. They need 15 yards. They need 8 points. He takes a snap, and he decides to run to the right. He runs over the 30, the 25, the 20, the 15, the 10. One man dove and missed him. Touchdown. Too much speed, too much athletic ability. They had receivers deep in the end zone trying to get open. He looked, he almost threw it as he came across the line, and he decided to go all the way. Now, Virginia has to go for 2 to tie it up with 1:34. 35-33. They'll go for 2 to try to force this thing in overtime. They are really hard to contain because they are too quick.
Well, they're going to take another timeout, I believe.
Yeah.
No, Georgia's going to take it.
We're taking time.
That's our last.
Well, Virginia will try and regain control of the game here.
And how many times have we seen Virginia do that on 3rd and long today? That's at least 3 3rd and 15s that they've converted on, and that time they converted with a 30-yard touchdown run.
That one really hurt. Remember, we dropped that ball game of these guys the last time we played them here on a kickoff return right at the end. And the clock at the moment is almost sitting in the same place. The ball will be set on, well, I imagine they'll put it on one hash or the other. Officials at the moment have it on the kicking line. Boy, there's been a bunch of timeouts in this second half, and there has been a bunch of scoring in this second half. It's 21-7 at the half.
The good thing here is that Virginia can't take the lead. They could tie it up at best for them, and then they'd have to give the ball back to us with a decent amount of time on the clock, 1:34 right now. Or if they miss, then we'll see an onside kick here on the following kickoff.
Well, here comes a two-point conversion play. Will they run that fast back Jones? Will they dump it off to Jones? Will Brooks try to get a keeper? He's looking at our defense before he goes up to the center. Here goes Virginia trying to tie it up and put this thing in overtime. Brooks underneath. Brooks going to drop back to pass. We're coming on him. One man missed him, and he had him. We chase him. He throws, and it is incomplete. We batted it down. Was that Jeff Harris who hit the ball on the 2 or the 3? He reached in front of Terrence Wilkins. We had our hands on that quarterback behind the line. Boss Bailey couldn't quite pull him down. He got a throw off, but we were about to pull him down. Hollenshed was coming, and we made a great secondary defensive play again. Now you got 94 seconds, and they're going to do an onside kick. It's 35-33. They'll take their last shot at getting that ball back.
And great pressure by Georgia's linebackers from Bailey first, and then Hollenshed followed up, and Brooks had to force that pass, or try to, and then another fine play by Harris, the cornerback, to break it up and keep them out of the end zone for the conversion.
Harris's play and Corey Robinson's play here in this fourth quarter have really been something. Two great individual play. Now we got a 2-point lead, and they will kick it. And they will try to squib that thing off and recover a short kick. All teams work on this probably more than 2 or 3 times a week, just in case it happens when you need the onside kick. And it's worked on in the NFL as well. Virginia now will try the onside kick, and the Dogs have to recover. 1:34. Todd Braverman, the extra point guy, will be trying to squib that ball, and Virginia will come lunging up across their 45 trying to recover. Dogs have got 5 men across the 46.
Well, they've got
3 or 4 more behind them.
They've got 2 kickers out there, Larry. They've also got David Green, number 31, is a kicker, and Braverman, number 34. So they're going to try to deke us, I think.
Virginia to try an onside kick. We have 5 in the front row and then 4. And they kick it over to the left, and it bounces. And Virginia caught the ball in the air, and they've got the ball around the 50. He bounced the ball off the 45, and somebody caught it on a high bounce off the turf before we had a chance to even reach a hand. Devon Simmons, that defensive back. Virginia's got the ball with 93 seconds. The clock has been sitting in that one place for 7 hours. They get the ball again. Are they going to rip our heart out right at the end? Do you realize we make a play to save the 2 points, and they get the ball back? They put it on a 47. It hit the ground and then bounced about 5 feet up, and a member of the kicking team caught it right on his chest and went down. Now the biggest plays of the night, of all the plays we've had. Here's Virginia. They need 53 yards to win. They need 3 points to win. They got to come down and kick a field goal. Snap to Brooks. Protection. Fires. And it is incomplete. Bailey breaking one up, intended for Terrence Wilkins down around the 40. The clock only moved 4 seconds. Second down. Champ Bailey barely broke that play up. They went to their fastest man, and they probably were running the same pattern that he hurt us on so much early in the first half. Second down, Virginia on their own 47. They recovered the onside kick when it bounced like that off the turf. 35-33, we got a 2-point lead. You would think the clock is in your favor. It has not been. Now Virginia, 3 receivers, shotgun. One back there with Brooks. Snap to Brooks. Brooks looking, starts to run. We miss him. He's over the 50, the 45, the 40, the 35, the 30, and out of bounds. They're going to line up and kick a field goal and beat us at the end. Now that's what they're trying to do. He just kept it and ran 20-odd yards and got it all the way to our 27. We couldn't catch him. Virginia has just taken all the momentum and everything right away, trying to save themselves and beat us similar to the way it was a few years ago right at the end. They're on our 27, and we've had some individual defensive plays in the secondary that were unbelievable, but all for naught. 81 seconds. Here's Virginia. All they got to do is get it in position and then kick a field goal and kill you. Brooks underneath. Takes it. Yeah, they're going to hand the running back, and we crash in. Hollenshed hit him on the 30. Hollenshed hit Thomas Jones behind the line. About a 3-yard loss. 1:11. It's all going to come down to a field goal. 35-33.
Well, they'd like to get a little bit closer for Braverman. His long this year is 47, and right now that's about what it would be.
Ball on the 30. Second down. Virginia about 13. Not quite a full 13 to go. This is a very big play. Brooks underneath. He's in an eye. Second down. Brooks hands to Jones, and Hollenshed blitzed and hit him on about the 32. Thomas Jones couldn't move. The clock is 36 seconds. It's all going to get to a field goal. That's what we're going to do. I told you when he manned that long keeper, that's what they were going to do. 29 seconds. And Virginia will be 3rd and 14. And Virginia called time. Well, how many yards are they going to get on 3rd down before they line it up? Ball on the 32.
Well, this situation's where they flourished tonight, 3rd and long. They really converted on 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15. And, this is not a sure thing as far as a kick is concerned. They're on the 31, so you're looking at about a 48-yard field goal attempt right now. They certainly want to try to get a little bit closer with 29 seconds to go, and they've got time to do it.
Yeah, one of those fast backs might get them 8 or 9 yards, so that's what bothers you. We are really having trouble tackling quick people. And, boy, they've got speed. Ball is between the 31 and the 32, and it's 3rd down. Who knows what day it is? Who knows what time it is? 35-33. Miller turned around. Brandon did, told the crowd to get into it. And then Boss Bailey did the same thing, and the crowd is up roaring. Virginia will be on our 31.5. with 29 seconds. And I think they still have a timeout left. They're going to position it for the field goal. They're almost positioned now. What play will they call with 3rd and 14? Virginia with Brooks underneath. He takes it. He's back. And we blitz on him, and he throws it long and incomplete down around the 5. Adrian Hollenshed flew in there and hit him. Now here it comes. 24 seconds. You realize we've had some games decided by field goals on the last play this year. One team had a bad snap. Todd Braverman will try it.
He missed a 44-yarder earlier in the game. This one's looks like he's going to put it on about the 38.5, so about a 48-yard field goal.
Here it comes, 24 seconds. Todd Braverman with the ball held on the 38.5. We've got a 2-point lead. They're trying for 3. They set it down, and the kick is going, and it is no good. No good. With 19 seconds, they missed the field goal, and the officials had to look at it. They missed it. We are still alive. Wow. 19 seconds. From up here, and we're only looking up the side, it looked like it was going to get over the bar. And I don't know if it went left or where it went now. We're trying to look at a replay, but the replay is from so far out you can't see. Now we glance back at it to one side, about a foot outside. Outside the right. Dogs, you've got the ball on the 31. Old Lady Luck has smiled on you tonight. Now you got to hold that ball with 19 seconds. We come up on the 31. Quincy behind center will take it and just kneel down a couple of yards behind the line to let the clock run and move. And the Dogs have won a ball game that I think is impossible. It's all over, and the bench comes breaking out in the middle of the field. We have staggered and bled and fallen down, and we have won this dumb thing 35-33. They missed a field goal that quarterback almost got for them. Georgia, a winner. You talk about luck. 35-33. Call of the game after these words on the Georgia Bulldog Radio Network.
Hello.
Bob.